Can y'all give me a one, two, three if y'all can hear me? I'm asking a simple question, y'all. Come on. Give me a one, two, three if y'all can hear me. I'll do it myself then. Jesus Christ. Yeah. I had to do it myself. Like the chat tripping today. I had to do it myself. I had to do it myself. All right. Let me go over to my Instagram. Let me click this link. Bring you back here. Maybe it's a delay. Don't be no crybabies about it. Nofugazy. Let me click his link. Restream. Join the stream. All right. Hey, what's going on, brother? How you doing? Oh, it's all pretty good, man. I just got back from Chicago. I think I had told you I was out of town. So I just got back in town. So I was a little mad because when you said come in person, I thought that would have been fire, like to do it in person. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, yeah. I didn't know you was in. Yeah, I didn't. I know you said you was from Jersey, but I didn't know you was in Jersey. Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. That ain't nothing but a ride. And we ain't gotta do just the Bible topics. We could do those. Women topics, men top. I could do
Yep.
every.
Yep.
Yeah. Hmm. Okay. Yeah, I'm down
Whenever
with
you
it.
want to
Yeah.
come out, kick it, man.
Yeah, you let me know whenever you're ready to get down. I'm down with it.
Yeah, it's all love, man. We may, disagree on a few things, but that ain't
Yeah.
nothing. Niggas be sensitive, like you disagree with me,
Yeah.
I hate you. I'm not one of them niggas, bro.
Yeah, I don't get down like that. Yeah, I don't get down like that either. I like it.
The only thing the only thing that I'm not gonna have any friends or be cool with is anyone that's LGBTQ plus.
Okay,
That I
listen,
just
listen, listen. We could be on the same
our
page with
value
that.
system just
Right,
don't rock, man.
right,
Our
right,
value system just don't rock. I can't have them
right,
around me.
right. No, I agree with that 100%, man. I can't get down with that. I think it's counterproductive to any community. It ain't just a
Yeah,
counterproduction to the black community, but it's a counterproduction to any community. So I don't get down with that at all. So
yeah, facts.
yeah, yeah.
But yo, let me fix my camera real quick, and then I'm gonna go to the bathroom. So what is it, 8:04?
Okay.
Where we start in like 5 to 8 minutes.
Okay. All right. No sweat.
All
That's
right,
fine.
bet.
All right, bet.
Cool.
Peace. All right. Let me stop sharing my screen. Let me mute myself over here. All right, y'all. So the brother, he gonna step away for a second, and then we're gonna go ahead and start the live. So while we got this time, let me see if I got it. Let me see if I want to take some questions. I did bring the belt out. If anybody followed my car chronicles, I did bring the belt out. Somebody asked me to bring the belt. This belt was given to me by none other than Tommy Sotomayor. Y'all be saying Tommy Sotomayor ain't a brother, but that's my brother. And so this is the belt. So you will see the belt out because I'll be whooping ass today. So I'm looking forward to it. So that's the belt right there laid out because I am what you call the champ. Shout out to Yaradon if y'all want to see the new shirt. Going to war is better than being a slave. And that's facts too. So, hey, you know what I want to play, which I think is one of the look, this is what I don't be understanding. This question says, no, not this one, not that question, not that comment. Um, why are you making friendly with the enemy, Cap? You know what's interesting about that, right? And here go my boy Million. He said, "Don't let this fool lie. Don't let this fool cut you a lie on you." Right? Um, when you make this statement right here, right? Shalom, don't. I keep clicking the wrong one. This one right here. This tells me when somebody say, "Why you making friendly with the enemy, Cap?" Right? That tells me a lot about the intellect of the individual that says that. What I was just watching this movie Braveheart, right? And in the movie Braveheart, as they go into war, there's a time where they're having a conversation. There's a time in that conversation where their gender's a form of respect. Their gender's a form of agreement. Their gender's many forms because yes, you're enemies and disagree, but the goal is to have some type of common ground or something that you can work out. So the brother is an enemy in the sense of what he believes in, but he's not an enemy as a brother. Like no brother is a real enemy. So I don't know why somebody would say this stupid thing. And then I understand why I sit in this seat and you don't. And that's just facts. I wish you could sit in this seat, but if you can't have a conversation where I think you might look at it as every time you see him, you got to be on it down his neck or down his throat. You're not going to get nowhere with that. You're just going to be an emotional creature. To eat from truth said, this topic though, bring out them precepts. Well, this is an interesting topic. It's a topic of and y'all could thank my rib for these chats being up here. She the one said put the chats up there. Y'all could thank her because I wasn't gonna use Restream, but Restream allows you to put chats up there. It also easily allows me to use TikTok. I like this one. Shout out to who's that? Barzal. Barzal, like y'all listen, Barzal music be fire too. So I'm looking forward to an excellent debate with the brother. Um, I want to play something, right? One of the funniest things that I've been a part of in my short time doing my car chronicles. Yo, do y'all realize, right? If y'all was to look up between Cross the Line Radio and if y'all was to look up between Cross the Line Radio and Captain Tazaryach TV, yo, I've done about 1,000 car chronicles, if not more. I think I've done 1,000 car chronicles, if not more. If you think about it, I've been doing this since 2019, and I would do it going to work. So let's say on average, maybe about 4 week. Let's say average 3 to 4 car chronicles a week, 52 weeks a year. You do the math. I've done about 1,000 of these. Mm, that's crazy. I always think about that, but I think I wanna play this part. I thought this was funny. Why am I frozen with? But I want to see if I can find it. Give me 1 second. Wait, shout out to Barrow. He said, whatever it take, Cap. I don't care if you use me for a teaching moment. Just stay on this. Okay, I don't know if I want to say this term he just said because I'm a New Yorker, and I'm never saying that latter part. So I'll read the top part. I don't care if you use me for a teaching moment. Um, when you say why you at this brother said, where can I find a 50 wives max in the scriptures? Why are you asking that question? Who's ever said you can only have 50 wives? DeAndre, you might be looking at the wrong link. I had to end the live stream to redo the live stream. So you might be looking at the wrong link. Because when I first did the link, my video was only at 1080, excuse me, 720, and I wanted to switch it to 1080p. So I stopped and started it. So you may have to redo it. But I want to see, I'm trying to find, I want to see that because this was the correct. Wait. Listen, this right here, this right here. This, wait, I want to show y'all. This was like the funniest thing. We need more in the lab, Cap. Okay, I'll work on that. Shout out to Michael Love with the super chat donation. You know what I'll do? I'll do it in the lab tomorrow. Just because Michael Love, and if y'all don't know anything about Michael Love has gifted many of you membership. So like there's a way where you can subscribe. Oh, I didn't put my poll in the chat to make sure we get them likes. Um But Michael Love has gifted a lot of you guys um, membership to my channel. And like when you get membership to my channel, you do get access to videos that you're not gonna see online. You're not gonna see them publicly online. Have hold on, I'm just creating my questionnaire. Have you thumbed up the video? All right, we're gonna get that poll going because I only see 83 likes right now. We got 299 people, 309 in the chat. Let's get them likes up. Likes don't cost you anything. But I did want to share this video, right? I want to share this video because I think it's absolutely hilarious. This video right here. Let's see. Now I want to work. This is what I wanted to work on right here. Let me hide this. Okay, this is a good view right here. So, oh wait, I got to change my design too. Hold on, let me change my design. Put this one up. I like this one better. I wish I had a black background instead of a blue. Let me see if I do like this. I like that. Let me see. Do I like it like this? I like it like this. Nope. Like this. Okay, I like it like that. So I'm gonna play this. This video here. Y'all let me know if y'all can hear this. This was like one of the funniest. Look at my boy, Brother Sanchez, man. Brother Sanchez, you know I stand that you do not have free will. That's where I stand on this. Sanchez. And Sanchez, we owe the people a live stream, man. Maybe Sunday. You let me know if you're doing anything this Sunday. We do owe the people a live stream. I'm down with it. If you down with it, me and Sanchez, get together. We kind of agree and disagree on some subjects, but we definitely could provide the people some good content. So Sanchez, we definitely do that. Mika didn't send me her address to get her oil, Mike. So Mika got to send me her address. I got to put the super chat, being that it's super chat. But I want to play y'all this video. For those that follow me on the Car Chronicle, matter of fact, I'm going to make this video the dominant section. For those that follow me on the Car Chronicles, this woman was definitely demon possessed. I try to teach her. I appreciate that, Sanchez. I'm looking forward to it. So hit me up sometime tomorrow. Sometime tomorrow, and then we'll work out getting it done. All right. But I'm thinking Sunday. If not Sunday, then Tuesday. One of the two. And then we could do it. Mika, I did not get your address. You can send me your address anytime, but I did not get an address, so that's cap. But this woman, I just want to play this part. I've never told a person I'm turning their volume down and they still talk. And so I want y'all to listen. So for those that follow, this is a woman that said that we're not supposed to learn from man, we're supposed to learn from God. And then when I asked her, was Jeremiah a man, she went off. All right. I don't know who the super clown is. I don't know who that is. I'm a one. All right, so I'm gonna play this.
Then I asked her, where does it say Paul means evil? I never asked her before that. I had no reason to ask her about Paul. We wasn't talking about Paul. She offered up information. Just nobody can hear you. Just so you know, nobody can hear you. Nobody can hear you. Your volume is all the way down. Listen, my audience don't even want to hear you. My audience don't even want to hear you. That
and as
demon.
I'm telling her, and so as I'm telling her, my audience don't want to hear you. I'm turning the volume down. Just watch. Just watch.
Has such control over her. I'm telling her the volume is all the way down, and she's still on the phone. Watch when I turn the volume up. She's still talking. Look at her. She's still talking. I'm gonna turn the volume down. Nobody can hear her. Nobody can. I can't even hear you. I have no idea. What she's saying right now.
I don't know what she's saying.
But what I did want to point out now, what I wanted to do with the sister.
Watch.
And you know I'm gonna make a clip out of the sister. What I wanted to do with the sister was simply break down to her, which is what I'm going to do now. Jeremiah.
I am about to break down this scripture and the things that are being said. And then I'm going to turn the volume back up and she's still going to be talking. Watch.
Watch this, y'all. Watch this.
You want to hear what you
She's
want
still
to
talking, y'all. She's still talking, y'all. She's still talking. Right. So Jeremiah 17:5 says, she's still talking, y'all.
Watch.
With the sister would simply break down to her, which what I'm going to do now. Jeremiah 17:5 reads, Jeremiah 17:5 says, watch this, y'all. Watch this.
You want to hear what you
She's
want
still
to
talking, y'all. She's still talking, y'all. She's still talking.
She's still talking.
So Jeremiah 17:5 says, Thus saith the Lord, cursed be the man that trusteth in man,
I couldn't believe
and
if
make
she was still
flesh his
talking this whole
arm,
time.
whose heart
What?
departed
You
from
still
the
gonna be
Lord.
talking?
For he shall be like
As I'm breaking down the scriptures, I'm gonna raise the volume up. She's still gonna be talking. Watch.
the parched places in the wilderness,
Just
in
watch.
salt and in inhabited land. When you read the verses above that, Jeremiah 17:1 says, the sin of Judah is written with a pen of iron and the point of a diamond. It is graven upon the table of the hearts and upon the horns of your altars. So what Jeremiah is talking about, and she's still talking, y'all. She's still talking. Look at it.
Look, look,
Look,
she's
she's
still
still
talking.
talking. Can't
Yo,
nobody
she
hear you.
never.
Nobody can hear you, yo. So when I turn it back there. Listen, I ain't hung up on her yet. She's still talking to herself. So when you read that first verse, it's just like today.
Yeah, you can't tell me I don't know how to do this job. I know how to do this job good because I remember. So when I'm doing the hold up, yeah, there go the chat. So when I'm doing the live, whenever I'm doing the lives, people always wonder. Like I don't. Okay, first of all, when I say I'm the best, right? Um, when I say I'm the best, I want everybody to understand. Jeremy Yahoo said we don't have free will, we do have a choice. Free, yeah, okay. Now this is kind of the position that I'm coming from. Shout out to Jeremy Yahoo. There's some long. I don't know. He probably chose this long name. Jeremy Yahoo Dawid Ben Yochanan. How we don't have free will, and we have a choice to choose between good and evil. Free will doesn't mean one is free of consequence, and free will doesn't negate predestination because one's actions is predetermined. I disagree. Like he says, how we don't have free will and we have a choice. There's a dip because a choice has everybody knows when they make a choice, that choice comes with consequences. Free will doesn't come with consequence. Even like when I go into this, you're gonna see that free will and choice are diametrically opposed to each other. Free will is if you're free to do anything, then there shouldn't be no consequence that comes with it. There shouldn't be none. Mm. So we'll see. Let me see. What else can I do? He said start in 5 minutes, so we got about 1 minute left. Don't forget, man, I got, you know what? I'm gonna tell y'all, everybody was waiting for me to release these. For those that don't know what these is, this is my infinite cologne. Nobody has bought this one. So I'm gonna tell y'all something. Y'all like it when the cap got the oils that's $30. I raised that price up and you got to pay $130. Then they start, I'm gonna wait till the 50% off sale. Let me help you out. These will never be 50% off. These will never be 50% off. What I will say is the 2 ounce ones, these people are buying these. People are buying the small 2 ounce ones. But this big dog here, this 3.4 ounce one, I ain't got a sale on it yet. Y'all can now. Currently, there's a 50% off and 25% off sale. So currently, you can get this for 25%, but this will never be 50%. And y'all been telling me, Cap, release the oil, release the scent, release the scent. Ain't nobody bought this. $130. This is 100. Is it 130? Let me check. Let me check my website just to make sure. In case I'm wrong. Let me check. This is not right now. Let me go to the store. Let me see. Let me go to the store. I'm gonna go to the store. Let me see. I think it's 130. I think. Let me go to my listings. This is this is $130. All right, $130, 3.4 ounce, signature car gas logo engraved on the glass. So y'all say y'all wanted the oil, well, the spray, but predestination means there's no free will. That's a good point. There's no such thing as free will. It's several scriptures proven were made to be destroyed. That's not all. We can prove that they ain't made to be destroyed. We can prove that You can prove in the Bible that he doesn't have to destroy. We can prove that. Like in the Bible, we can prove that. So I'm looking forward to a spirited debate. Deandra says she waiting on that Elon stimmy. I got a compliment on the Oil Legend I was wearing the other day. Shout out to you. Shout out to Maria out of Kansas City. Maria, how you in Kansas City? You not in the school? Are you in the school in Kansas City? We got a dope battle here. Captain gonna smack Cooley in the true. Who said that? You're doing your job very well. Love learning. Appreciate that. Shout out to Christy Balcom. Shout out to other general ISUBK for life. That's right. Somebody said all praises to the fourth dimension. Fourth dimension, I didn't even come up with the name fourth dimension. The name fourth dimension came from Officer Shalayala. So fourth dimension is something that we say within the school when we talk about the realm where the most high is at. And when I made the first oil, I didn't have a name for it. And so the name that I came up with was fourth dimension per Shalaya Allah. He's selling his oils for Creed price. Look at Dame. Cap, I'll buy one if you donate one. Michael Love got to be a hustler. I'm going to tell y'all, Michael Love got to be a hustler on the low. So Michael Love said he'll buy one of these if I donate one. So now, Michael Love, my question to you is, let me put it so y'all can see it. I'll do that. But now, are we doing where you're gonna buy a male one and I donate a female one, or what type of way do you want to work the donation out? Now, Michael Love put me on the spot. I like being put on the spot. So, Michael Love, you got it. I was gonna say your wish is my command, but your request is granted. So, if you buy one, I will donate one. You just tell me how you want it to be donated. Do they got to win it? Is it prize? Is it something? You let me know how you want to work it out so y'all can thank Michael Love for that. And I'm going to tell y'all how Michael Love tricked me by doing it publicly. Michael Love is definitely an Israelite. Jacob means supplant. So this brother just supplanted me because I just said you're not getting one for 50% off. And he just supplanted me and got one for 50% off. Mike, you's a bad brother. But that's what we're going to do. So Mike said he's going to buy one. I'm going to donate one. So Mike, just text me how you want to do it. And, we'll work it out. Just text me how you want to do it. All right. I think we're about to get started in a second, y'all. He just got back on the screen, so I think we're going to get started. Yeah, I can hear you. Hey, no problem. Take your time, man. I'm ready to rock. I ain't got nothing to do. Okay. All right, no sweat. All right, perfect. All right. Baba that asked if I'll ship for free. Maybe.
Welcome to Nofugazy Podcast. I'm your host, Cooley. Tonight is debate night. We got Captain Tazaryach joining us for Does God Give Us Free Will? Let's hop into the intro. Gabby, oh, you done. And you want to leave too? This is how our relationship goes. God over man, man over woman, woman over children. All right, ladies and gents, we are back. Let's get the likes up. This is going to be a good discussion. Subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't. Let's get into the usual scheduled programming. Before I bring them on up and we start this debate, let's have everyone click the description. We got a few links in there. First link is going to be for the members. If you like the podcast and you want to support the show, become a member, man. We got 3 tiers: gang, hitman, and mob ties. You join any of those tiers, you're locked in with us. You get to hit me up on Instagram. I hit you right back. And any ideas that you have for the show, if they're good ideas, I'll implement your ideas into the show. The next link is going to be for one-on-one coaching. Click that link, man, if you do need some coaching on dating and relationships, masculinity, and as well as media and marketing. The next link is going to be for the Clips channel. Sign up for the Clips channel, man, and subscribe to it. It's free. If anything happens with the main channel, we going to be on the Clips channel. The next link is for the Discord, man. Discord is free. Chop it up with us in the Discord. So join the Discord, please and thank you. Let's go ahead and bring them on up and get things started, man. Oh, before I do so, we are live on Facebook and YouTube. So everybody on Facebook, we probably only going to stay live for, I would say, like 30 minutes. And then we're going to close down that stream. So be prepared and be ready to come on over to YouTube when I do close down a Facebook stream. All right, let's bring him on up. Hey, brother, what's going on?
Hey,
welcome to Nofugazy
man?
Podcast.
Hey, man, I appreciate you having me on, man.
Can't hear you right now. No audio.
All right, wait. I had it muted. I apapologize. No, I appreciate you having me on, man. Looking forward to a good dialogue. It's been a while. I actually like the last conversation. Because what I like is we were kind of both passionate about what we believed in, but I never felt disrespected outside of just the dialogue. So I actually love the conversation, me myself. So I've been all right. How about yourself, man?
Yo, man, I've been good. I could say the same, man. Me and you chop it up via Instagram all the time. Mm-hmm. And yeah, man, it's a mutual respect. We may have different perspectives, share different opinions, have a totally different worldview on certain topics, but at the end of the day, we got no beef.
Right. Yeah, definitely. Right. And that, what bugged me out, because like my audience be like, why you don't do this then? Why? I said, he ain't my enemy like that. Like, I ain't trying to, talk to the brother like I'm trying to harm him or something like that. We just disagree on.
Yeah, we actually chop it up. I'll send you some stuff. You send me some stuff. Yeah,
last live stream. I was laughing at the live stream. So I mean, we have some good time. At least I thought so. Nice. And I think
me too, man.
You can see that, because I think just because we differ doesn't mean that we can't still be brothers. You know what I mean? And have good conversations and stuff. Like, it's almost like I like battle rap, for example. So when them battle rappers be battling, they be saying, now they say some egregious things to each other.
Personal attacks. Yeah, right. They be going in.
And then when it be over, they just dap each other up, have a drink.
Like, yo, we made mad bread off of this.
We made mad bread off of this. They just talk about their mama, their kids. They gonna kill them about 12,000 times. And then they top it up. So if they could do that, I think we should be able to, do the same thing, if not better. So
that's a fact. That's a fact, man. I definitely agree, man. I definitely agree. Mm-hmm. So let's go ahead and get started with this. So we're gonna have 2 openings. Okay. Well, 1 opening each. We have up to 4 minutes. So me and Tazaryach, for the audience to know, we went over the rules and everything. I'll have up to 4 minutes to do my opening. He'll have up to 4 minutes to do his opening. Once again, this debate is about free will, and does God give us free will? So that's what the debate topic is about. Cool? Sounds good?
Yep, sounds good to me.
All right. Let's get this started then, man.
Let's get ready to rumble!
All right. Oh, let me bring you back up. Okay.
All right.
Okay. Also, anyone that so we are going to be taking questions at the end of the debate. So, If you have any questions, send in your super chats because all super chats will be read at the end of the debate. So, man, any questions you have for me personally, for Tazaryach personally, or both of us, please have your questions ready because I will get to them at the end of the debate. I'm not going to read any questions during the debate, but you can send them in now, but I will get to all of them in order as well. All right, so here's my open. I actually written this down too. So we are debating currently about free will and does God give us free will? This debate is already over before it even starts because I am debating a man that opposes free will but deeply believes in the Bible. Now, if Tazaryach was an atheist believing in free will, this would make sense, but he isn't. I'll explain how this will go. He'll attempt to appeal to biblical scriptures to prove his point that we do not have free will, but simultaneously being unaware that the properties in the scriptures appeals to choice and value systems, things like good and bad, and having consequences and placing judgment for choosing good and bad. Believing in God and the Bible but not believing in free will is very nonsensical and paradoxical. This belief strips all accountability away from us. If we do not have the free will of choice in his worldview, God makes every decision for us. That's his worldview, which means that God is responsible and accountable. That's what that means. We're not accountable. We're not responsible. God is. So then why would God judge us if we are not responsible for our choices? That will conclude my opening. I think I did that in about a minute and a half. If you want to go ahead and take all 4 minutes, man, go ahead.
No, I don't know if I need 4 minutes. So the subject of this particular battle is, does God give us free will? My position is that God does not give us free will, because there's nothing that God tells us to do that doesn't come with consequence or blessing. So you notice when Cooley was speaking, he snuck in that word choice. Now, if someone makes the argument that you have a choice, I'm not going to argue that, but you don't have a free will. If I was to just give one scripture, Deuteronomy 30:16, God says, I've set before thee this day life and death. That's almost like in Philly when they used to have that crew called Get Down or Lay Down. Or that's almost like if somebody puts a gun to your head and give me your jacket, you'll live. Don't give me your jacket and you die. You do not have free will. You're either going to do it, you're either going to give up the jacket and live, or you're going to keep the jacket and die with the jacket. So that's what God gave us. God gave us the choice to keep his commandments and live, or to break his commandments and die. If I freely was to give Cooley $500 and I said, I'm giving you this at no cost or anything like that, I just gave him $500 freely. There's no consequence. There's no blessing. But if I say to Cooley, hey, I'm going to give you this $500, but I need this back in 2 weeks. If I don't get it, you're going to see a whole nother side of Tazaryach. Then after them 2 weeks, he either going to put that 500 in my hand or I'm going to lay hands. So there's nothing that's free unless it's free. So I'll end it right there because the brother only took like a minute and a half. So that's kind of like my position. I do come from the Bible, but the one thing I'll end is the concept of free will does not come from the Bible. That's not the origin of free will. I end it there.
Okay, cool. So this will be the part where it's just going to be free for all debate, man. I guess since I went first, you went last. I'll go ahead and pose the first question then.
That's fine.
And then also at the end of the debate, I'll let you do your closing last, and I'll let you do your closing first, and I'll do my closing last.
Okay, that works for me. That's cool.
Cool. All right, cool. So I mean, okay, I get what you're saying. So my first question, so even if you read Deuteronomy, if you read it fully through, if you read Deuteronomy 30, Deuteronomy 30, 19, it says, I call heaven and earth to witness against you today that I have set before you life and death, blessings and curse. Choose life. If he would have read it all, it says, choose life, then that you and your descendants may live. So this is God telling us that we have free will. I'll also read a scripture before. I don't even have any questions right now. These are statements.
Okay.
But if you have any questions for me afterwards, you can go ahead and get to this. Or if you have any statements, you could do that too. But
Gotcha.
our scripture, I just wanted to read the full length of your scripture to even to point out that God even said, choose, make a choice. If you choose this, you're dead. But if you choose that, you live. So here's Romans 7:19. For the good that I would, I do not, but the evil which I would not, that I do. This seems to suggest that it is possible for a person to choose against his or own desires. I'll leave it at that.
Okay, no sweat. So I want everybody to pay attention that Cooley is kind of doing what I expected. He's changing the word that he's using. If he would have hit me up and said, Cap, do you believe that we can make a choice to obey God or disobey God? I would have said, yes, we can make that choice. But he didn't. He not use the word choice. He used the word free will. Free will is not in the Bible. So I'm going to respond to your scriptures and then I'm going to just make a statement. So in Deuteronomy 30, when he read the whole entire thing, that further proves my point. So in Deuteronomy 30 and 19, when it says, I call heaven and earth to record this day against you, that I've set before you life and death, blessings and cursings, therefore choose life, that both thou and thy seed may live. He's really telling you what to do. He's not giving you a choice. That end of that verse where it says, therefore choose life, that both thou and thy seed may live. If you choose to not listen to him, then you're choosing death. So if choice is the conversation you want to have, then I'll have a different response. But if free will is the conversation that you want to have, this verse proves that there's no free will. Even in Romans 7, I think you read 7:16. I'm gonna read.
I read 7:19.
Oh, 19. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to read, I think I'm going to start at 16. So in Romans 7 and 16, it says, if then, I'm sorry, I'm 17. It says, now then it is no more I that do it, but sin that dwelleth in me. For I know that in me, that is my flesh, dwelleth no good thing. For to will is present within me, but how to perform that which is good I find not. For the good that I excuse me, for the good that this always tongue tie me. For the good that I do not, but the evil which I would not, that I do. That's him choosing to obey so that he can live, because he knows that if he consents into the evil, the sin dwells in him. So how does he avoid the sin? How does he avoid dying? Even Romans the 6th chapter talks about death reigning until the time of Moses. Why? Because when we made the irrational choice of thinking we can have the free will to disobey God, we were punished for it. So if I could, real briefly, I want to read this article. If you don't mind, it's called Augustine, Advocate of Free Will, Defender of Predestination. I'm just going to read. I'm going to skim through it. It's kind of long, but I'm going to skim through it. It says the relationship.
Sure, go ahead, man. Yeah.
Thank you. And I can share this to you if you want. It's a PDF I got off online. It's from the EDU journal site. It's about Augustine, because the concept of free will comes from Augustine, comes from the Roman Catholic Church. And the reason why they developed the concept, and you'll see where it comes from before the Roman Catholic Church, but the reason why the Catholic Church did that is because they had to explain why so many evil things are happening to people that believe in God. And so the church pushes that God is all good. So if God is all good, why does the evil happen? And nobody wanted to tell the truth to the church people, that God does the evil to us. Christ does the evil to us. And I can prove that in the Bible. So it says the relationship between God and mankind has been one of distress and apparent contradiction. The story of the fall in the 3rd chapter of Genesis gives an account of our present existence, which is marked by a fundamental separation of man and his creator, each of whom reside on a different side of barrier of sin. The barrier which Genesis tells us was built by Adam's fault poses two major issues for the Judeo-Christian tradition. The first is that the side on which man resides, remove the source of goodness and fulfillment, is permeated by evil, suffering, and sin. An architectural question arising from this situation is how God, who is both omnipotent and maximally good, can permit the existence of such evil. And furthermore, how evil can exist since the beneficent create, excuse me, say it, since the beneficent creator of the source of all. The second profound issue concerns the reunification of God and humans. How is the barrier of sin broken and the gap bridged? Who is active in traversing it? So now this was a question posed to the Roman Catholic Church. And so Augustine, who is highly regarded as being a church doctor, one of the most respectable and influential thinkers to have ever written. It is difficult to comprehend how any intellectual could argue so fervently for concepts as dissimilar as free will and predestination, because that was the two arguments. One is free will, and one is we're predestined to be in the condition that we are. The two seems are mutually exclusive. If a person is predestined, his free choice appears to be rendered rather illusory, or at best trivial. This has led some of the readers to conclude that there existed two Augustines. So that's how they divided him. They divided him into two Augustines because they could not fathom the concept of how in one breath Augustine is saying free will, in another breath he's saying we're predestined. So the only way, and I'll give you the floor, I appreciate you giving me the space. So the only thing that we can conclude based on the origin of Augustine creating it to solve the problem of the evil is that they created free will to have an answer to why we get punished instead of telling the truth that God punished you. I'll end with this scripture. This is Isaiah 45:7. It says, I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, do these things. So now we've just answered that there is no such thing as free will, because the answer to the evil is that God does the evil. When does he do the evil? When we disobey. I yield the floor to you. I appreciate it.
Got it. Yep. So here he just, like I told you what he would do in my opening, he's going to appeal to the Bible, which also appeals to free will. And I'll explain what he just did. Now, he's saying that, I'm speaking about choice, and he's trying to differentiate between choice and free will. So actually, before I even get into these questions that I have, the first question would be that he has to do is define what he means by free will. What is different? What is the difference between free will and choice?
The difference between free will is that free will is something that you get with no consequence or no benefit.
So free will you get with no consequence or no benefit?
Yes. That's why I use the example. If I give you $500 freely, there's nothing that comes with it. But if I give you this $500 under conditions, then there is choice. That's why I said if you ask me about choice, I would agree. We have a choice, but that choice comes with consequence. So that's the difference between free will.
Got it. Well, how you just explained it, that to me that makes no sense at all. So
Damn,
you just said
about to say it makes sense, but
no,
the way your head wave like that,
it makes no sense. Yeah, it makes no sense at all.
Right,
so, free will, your idea of free will, it is void of consequence. So free will, you really didn't explain it too much for me how you view of it. You just said it's void of consequence. Mm-hmm. Then you gave an example of if I give you money and don't expect anything, that's free. It was my will to give it to you, and that's free, right? I don't view free will that way. I don't think anyone really views free will that way. I believe that choice is attached to free will, like the will to do something. You have a desire to do something, a will to do something. There's some people that have an addiction problem, but then guess what? Their will supersedes this their desires. So their will would supersede the desires to do something. So in one sense, it's still free will because they are choosing to submit to their desires. On the other hand, it is still free will because they are choosing for their morals to supersede their flesh food desires. So it's a double-edged sword. You're getting stabbed on each end with free will. So I'll just pose this question for you. I kind of just need some yeses or nos to these questions, because I just want to see if I got your worldview proper.
Okay, no problem.
Do you believe that God wants us not to sin?
Yes.
Do you believe that God makes us sin?
No.
Okay, so that's a contradiction. So if you
Can you
believe
explain?
that if you believe that there isn't any free will, then how can you say that on one hand God wants you to sin, but on the other hand, well, God doesn't want you to sin, but on the other hand, you believe that there isn't any free will, but God doesn't make you sin?
Yeah, he doesn't.
If you don't believe in free will, then everything is controlled by God. Do I have that right? Yes or no?
Wait, say that last part again. Say it one more
Okay,
time.
so you don't believe in free will. Is
No.
everything controlled by God?
Yes.
Okay, so if everything is controlled by God and God does not want you to sin, everything is controlled. God still made you sin.
No. So
Explain that for me.
thank you. No problem. I know. Listen, man, you're gonna learn the Bible today. So now,
Listen,
like,
we could both bring up scriptures and stuff like that,
right,
but
but it
we
gotta
can just
make
have a
sense.
logical, it got to make sense.
Definitely.
We have to have a
both
logical
sides.
discussion that makes sense.
Right. I
Go
got to
ahead.
be able
Yeah,
to hear you. You got to be able to hear me. So
for
in
sure.
that Deuteronomy 30, did God say freely choose life, or did he just say choose life? Which one?
Choice. The fact that you have choice, you have, it is, you are, it's free. The fact that you have choice, it is free. And I'll explain so the audience can understand my worldview a little bit, because I'm more coming after your worldview, but let's speak about my worldview of
Right, because this is
free
important.
will.
Then I got a follow-up question after that.
Because then you got a follow-up question. Fair enough.
I got a couple questions. Right.
Okay, cool. So when I'm speaking about choice, the ability to make choice means that influence creates thinking, thinking creates behavior. We have things that we are influenced by, like our biology. That's a that's a huge influence to us. I would say that's the first thing. The testosterone, the estrogen, these are things that influences our thinking, our desires, and our choice. Then we have, that's the internal. Then we have the external forces, things like your community, your family, the society that you live in, the school that you go to, the church that you go to, the religion. You could be Hindu, you could be Muslim, you could be Christian. We have all of these external desires. At the end of all of this is choice, and choice is free, meaning that you can be influenced by think about a homosexual. That man, his entire biology is telling him to like vagina. But his choice of that, let's see, what can I say? The choice that he made supersedes his actual biology. So his biology is telling him, no, get the small waist, the wide hips, get some boobs. It's telling you the testosterone. But his own free will, his own choice, he's choosing to neglect his biological makeup and sleep with a man, a homosexual. You get what I'm saying? So even like using the LGBTQ community,
Right.
that's a huge example. I don't believe that they were born that way. I believe that they make those choices. That's a huge example that, Brad, they got every, like, people, you are born a man, but you think you're a girl and you want to put on woman's clothes and stuff like that. You are making that choice. Your desire to want to be a woman, to really want to be a woman, supersedes your biological urges. So what I'm saying is choice is at the tail end of everything that is influencing you, and you have the ability to one, not make a choice at all, meaning that you can, for an example, if you let's say you're handed something, you could take it, you can not take it, you can take it and walk away. So you have really four choices. You have a choice to not do anything, which is a choice. You have a choice to do something, which is a choice, or you have a choice to reject it, which is a choice as well. Or you have a choice to just stay stagnant.
So when it comes to God, right? When
Yeah, go ahead.
he makes the statement, and this is why I use the term get down and lay down. If the consequence of not listening is death, is God giving you free will?
Yeah.
Wow. So okay, this
You have
is
choice.
this is no, but see how you keep saying you have a choice? Nobody's negating choice. That's the term that God
And I guess that's the debate then. So
right.
you have to actually differentiate the difference between free will and choice.
I'm,
Your example that you gave was free will means not having any consequences.
that's right. But choice has the consequence. That's why in Deuteronomy 30.
But then, like, what I'm saying is everything that you do is a choice. Like, even if you choose to give something or to take something, it's all a choice.
Right. So that's why I said that even the homosexual analogy you gave, that's why they get AIDS, because that's what comes with homosexuality. That's why they get the diseases. I think, what was that, was it monkeypox? Monkeypox was an anal sex disease. So
Okay, so here's what you're doing. You're saying free will is void. This is your definition. You just made this up. You're saying that you believe that free will is void of consequences. There's not anything in this human existence that's void of consequences.
got another question. Is free will an origin of the Bible or something outside of the Bible? The concept of free will.
The entire concept of free will is all in the Bible and outside of the Bible.
No, what I mean is I'm not saying that you
because there's
look at
atheists
the Bible.
that.
No, let me just make it.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah,
You can
make your
understand
question.
what I'm asking.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that you not looking at scriptures and saying that's an example of free will. I'm talking about the very concept of free will. Is that born out of people teaching the Bible, or was that born out of people outside of the Bible? The concept itself is what I'm asking you.
Yeah, the concept itself was the first man. It was the concept itself was we live in the reality of the concept of free will. Like, it's a reality because we all, for my worldview, since everything has consequences and nothing doesn't have any consequences, you cannot say that free will is void of consequences. That's like saying that do you believe in evolution and we came from nothing?
No, but the reason why I make that statement, because when you look this up in history, I'm gonna read this article. It's on encyclopedia.com. It says the history of the concept of free will. It says the main stages in the development of the notion of free will may be characterized as follows. The philosophical bases were first proposed by Greek thinkers. They were then developed systematically by patristic and medieval writers under the influence of Christian religion. Then controversies arose in later scholasticism, traceable largely to the Protestant Reformation and its underlying causes. And these were followed finally by the diversity of views that typifies modern thoughts on subjects. So Plato and Aristotle, they are the ones that formulate.
Yeah, but what does this prove? This isn't proving your argument.
No. I'm going to walk you down.
Reading something which I already know of the influence of the word of free will. I'm not speaking about that. If we strip it down to what you said, the concept of free will, I'm saying that the world that we exist in is free will, because if it wasn't, okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
What I'm saying though is that concept or that thought process is what filtered into the Christian church. Because then, as I read the other point in history that you didn't answer, Augustine, who's the father
Wait,
of free
what
will.
didn't I answer?
So Augustine is the father of free will and created free will to
Okay.
help people understand why the evil was happening. When I read that article, the concept of free will developed because the church teaches that God is all good. I'm pretty sure you heard that terminology. So if God is all good, why are all these evil things happening? And so Augustine came up with the concept that it's free will because we freely obey God. That's it. But
But what does that prove? I'm not sure where you're going with this.
what
And
that pro-
question on the end of this.
what that there's my question. Oh, wait,
Okay.
before I get to the question, I just want to make one more statement. If God is punishing us and God is the one that's causing the evil, how can anybody say that we can freely obey God or freely disobey God? That's my question.
But you believe that God is the one that's created. You believe that God is the one that's actually well.
But that's
Real
not
quick, real
answering the
quick.
question, right? Because that's not answering the question, though.
Okay, here's the answer.
Okay.
If you believe that, right, then that's a contradiction to your last statement of my first question, because my first question was, it's going to tie in together. My first question was, well, does God want you not to sin?
Right.
You said no.
Right.
Then I said, does God make you sin? You said no.
No. I
So
said no. When you said does God make you sin, I said no. When you said does God want you to sin, no. The way you asked the question was different because my answer was a yes and a no when you first asked me. So I think you asked it different than the way you're asking it now. Because I think the first question you
I had it
asked,
written down.
yeah, the first question you asked, does God want us to sin? I said no, or not to sin. I think you might have said, does God want us not to sin? And I
Okay,
said
yeah.
yes.
Okay, totally fine. Does God want you not to sin?
Right.
You
And I
said
said
yes.
yes. And then you
Okay,
said,
now
does
does
God
God
make us
make you
sin?
sin?
I
You said
said
no.
no. Right. So
Okay,
how
so
does that
then
go with my question of the evil?
okay, so your question is of the evil. If God, but you said something there as well.
What I
You
said
said
was,
that
so my question to you was, if God punishes us if we do evil, how can we freely obey or disobey him if he punishes us for the evil? That's the question.
okay, if I'll just repeat it back then. If
Mhm.
God punishes us for doing evil,
Mhm.
how can we freely obey?
How can we freely disobey?
How can we freely disobey?
Right. That's my
There's
question.
people all the time that freely disobey God.
They
Look
don't.
at the Christians. Look at the look at the Christians that have the LGBTQ plus flag on their church.
They not
Look at
freely disobeying though,
you don't think that they're freely disobeying.
because God punishes them.
What what does the punishment is the end of it. So before you do something, well, first you have to do something. You take an action, and you're responsible for your action. You're accountable for the actions that you're taking because we are human beings of agency. And then the byproduct, depending on if your action is good or bad, then you receive consequences. So the consequences come after you do good or bad. So the consequences comes after the choice. You get what I'm saying? So you're trying to like compact everything together. Like, well, how can you not sin if you're going to be judged for it, like if you're going to experience consequences? Well, that's like you're saying, how can you make a choice in that decision? People choose to act in ways of their own desires, or people have discipline and choose to act in ways despite of their desires. That happens every day.
But I
Like you
think,
go to the gym. I seen some things on your
yeah, I get it
on
in.
your
I got little
Instagram. I
muscles.
go
I
to
got,
the gym too. We get it
yeah,
in, right? So
yeah.
you go to the gym. Are there days that your desire to go to the gym is lower than your desire to just be at home and chill. Sometimes you just want to be at
Yeah,
home and chill and
yep,
you don't really
yep,
have the desire to go.
yep.
But you still act
Sidebar,
despite
sometimes those be the best workouts though. Sidebar.
those facts too.
Yeah,
Sidebar.
yeah.
Sidebar. But you still act despite how you feel. You act despite your desires. So
Mhm.
you are still making the choice, even though you have this desire that you just want to truly be home and kick it and chill and not really worried about the gym. But your free will, your willpower supersedes your own desires. So that is choice. So the consequence of you being disciplined, normally in a gym, you get bigger, you get more muscle. The consequences of submitting to your desires, well, you become lackadaisical, you get chubbier. So there's consequences for every action that we take. Like, try to disprove that. Your question doesn't disprove like anything about free will, like
So
anything about consequences.
I think so. You notice when I said when you talked about the church with the LBGT, and I said
Yeah.
um they're getting punished. I think we might be having a human versus God conversation. Humans and everything that you're saying is the rationalization that the Catholic Church has done, that the Greeks have done before them. They're trying to rationalize the good and evil that takes place as they try to obey God. That's one side of it. Whereas God is punishing you if you disobey. If there's no
But
disobedience,
if you don't disobey, then you don't get punished.
wait, if you
So that means
don't,
that you have the
if you
choice to
don't,
obey or to not, or to disobey, which is free
nobody,
will.
nobody argue. No, it's not free
It's
because
free
if
will,
you
man.
don't,
What?
if you don't break the commandments of God, you get a blessing. If you break the commandments of God, you get a cursing. God is the punisher and the blesser. And here's why people think it's free. In Ecclesiastes, um, I think it's the 8th chapter, it says, because sentence against the evil act is not executed speedily. It is in them, it says, because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily. Therefore, the heart of the sons of men is set to fully do evil. So you see this from the garden, and the Garden of Eden is a prime example of you don't have free will. In Genesis,
I think that was. I don't interpret it that way at all.
well, that's
But go ahead. Go
thank you.
ahead.
So in Genesis 2:16, God gives Adam an instruction that says, if and the Lord God, I'm sorry, in the Lord, this is Genesis 2:16 and 17. It says, and the Lord God commanded the man, saying, of every tree of the garden thou mayest freely eat. Now that's free to eat of those things, but the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, thou shalt not eat of it. For in the day that thou eatest of it, thou shalt die. So now this is get down and lay down. So if he don't eat this tree, he'll live. If he eats this tree, he'll die. And then here come the philosopher, the serpent. The serpent came in Genesis the 3rd chapter, goes to that woman, sidebar. I do like your intro when you have, I think you got God, man, woman. That is the order. And
Yeah.
Adam wasn't supposed to listen to his woman at all. But that's what our enemies do. Our enemies go to the woman to subvert us. And that's what took place here. So the serpent goes to the woman, and the serpent said to that woman, ye shall not surely die. Now, sidebar, you could use this for your message when you be teaching or when you be talking to them sisters. When that serpent told that woman, when that when that serpent told that woman she shall not die, in her mind, her man was lying to her. And in her mind, she now gets to teach him and usurp authority over him. That's why I said you can use that. And that be the problem. Women thinking they can have authority over man and they cannot. And then the serpent told us something else that was good. He said, for God doth know that in the day that ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be open, and ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil. All that woman heard was, you mean I'm gonna be a god? Which is what these black women think they is. They think they God, and they think they can tell men what to do. So now, as she eats that from the knowledge of good and evil that she wasn't supposed to, and then give it to her husband, my question to you, was they punished for it? Yes or no?
Yes.
So why were they punished if they had free will?
They was punished because they made the wrong choice. They had the free will to make a choice to obey God, or they had the free will to make the choice to disobey God, to be disobedient. So it's very simple, right? Like with that story and how you interpreted it, the reason why the serpent couldn't get to Adam because Adam wasn't as susceptible as Eve. Eve was more susceptible to outside influences than Adam was. So the serpent influenced Eve, and then Eve influenced Adam. So the moral of the story was women are more susceptible to outside influences than men are, so they should pay very
This one we agree on.
They should pay very close attention to what they're being influenced by, the TV that they watch, the friends they hang around, and everything else. Men are very, very much more susceptible to women. So women are susceptible to outside influences, and men are susceptible to women. So Adam should not have listened to Eve, but he was very susceptible to that. He wasn't susceptible to the serpent, the outside influence, but he was susceptible to Eve. Now, they've received consequences.
They didn't receive consequence. They was punished.
Yeah, well, that's the definition of consequences. If you do something that you're not supposed to be doing, if I create something, right? But forget about that analogy real quick. I have a question for you because there's many different ways that I can attack this, but I think where we are missing one another, or where you're missing me, I'm saying that free will is attached to choice. It is attached. You think that free will is only void of consequences. So this entire debate, that doesn't really make any sense. So let's just say, I guess we're just using different words to express what we mean. My definition of choice is the same definition of free will. Your definition of choice is my definition of free will, but it's not your definition of free will. You have a different definition of free will.
Well, what I'm saying is, historically, free will was created to help Christians understand evil. You understand that, right?
Okay. I don't believe that. If that's the case, I can
read it again.
Okay, no, you don't have to read anything. We could just speak about this logically because as much reading as you've done, I've done as well. So let's just have a logical discussion. Why do we create systems of law and order and judge people on breaking the law when God made, if there's no free will, right? Why did we establish, let's say, not people that don't even read the Bible, people outside of the Bible and people inside the Bible, we all operate under the same system of, if you do X, Y, Z, then if we don't agree upon this, you will experience consequences. If you do X, Y, Z, and we do agree upon this, you won't receive any consequences. So there's always a reaction to any action that you do. That's just the world that we live in. In this physical world that we live in, for every action, there's a reaction. So what you're explaining about free will, that's life. Like, I agree with it. We have no disagreement on
I'm not explaining free will, though.
You're explaining choice.
Right.
And how you explain choice and the consequences of choice, that's how I explain free will.
Right, but what I'm really explaining is that God does the good and the evil. And when the Christians couldn't say with strength that God is the one killing, God is the one punishing, God is the one giving disease, causing earthquakes, when Christians wouldn't just outright say it, I teach the truth.
But that's a contradiction to the first question that I asked. The first question that I asked is, God wants you not to do sin. You said yes, God does not want you to do sin. Then the next question I asked, does God make you sin? You said no.
I said no.
You just literally said God is the one that makes you do the good and the evil. God is in control of all of that.
No, I said God is the one that does the evil. God doesn't make us. In James 1.
So real quick, let me understand. So you're saying that God is the one that does the evil. So does humans do any evil? Okay, if God does everything?
I'm gonna read this scripture, then I'm gonna explain exactly. I'm gonna read two scriptures.
But before you read it, because I'll let you go on and kind of do your style in the beginning. Maybe maybe can we just do my style, like the back and forth a little
Okay,
bit,
I'll
if
paraphrase
you
it
don't
then.
mind.
Okay, then
If you don't mind.
I won't read the scripture then. I'll just paraphrase where it's at. Fair enough. That way, I'm not reading the whole thing.
But what I'm saying is, I'm just like having a logical discussion and getting down to the thinking, like how you're thinking about things and how you're
Okay, I
moving
could talk
definitions of
scriptures, but
words
I'll
around.
talk scriptures. No sweat. So, God doesn't make us do evil or good. God sets the rules in front of us, and then
Of
if we
of
of
good and evil.
yeah, the good being keeping the commandments, the evil being not keeping the commandments.
Totally agree. So
Right.
God, so morality is objective, and God is the holder of morality, the good and the evil.
I wouldn't say morality is objective. Morality is based on living by God. But the part that I want to separate, when I say God creates the evil,
That's another contradiction. But go ahead.
no, it's not.
Okay, explain it for
When
me.
I say God creates the evil, I'm not saying God creates the drug dealer. God creates the homosexual. What I'm saying the evil is when we dying, AIDS, high blood pressure, diabetes, murder, earthquakes. That's God's evil. The evil I'm talking about from God is his judgments. The evil from God is not somebody selling drugs. That man chose to disobey the commandments of God. The evil is not a man sleeping with another man's woman. That man chose it. God is just going to punish him. So the
Okay,
evil,
that's consequences. Consequences and judgment is the
the
same
same thing,
is the same thing.
right?
So, I mean, I don't have any problem with that part, but
So then
if
you
you're
agree with
saying,
me, no free will.
I don't agree with you. The part that is paradoxical, it's very paradoxical. I'm going to show you how. The part
Okay.
that's everything that I said in my opening statement, if anyone was listening, it's all falling on them like now. It's been falling on them. But the part that's
It's
very
ugly.
paradoxical is this. On one hand, you say that God creates good and evil. Human beings, so he creates the standard of good and evil, good and bad. Human beings chooses to act either good or bad, right? And then based off of their choice of choosing good or bad, that God judges. God judges for the good people, and then God places judgment on the bad people as well. Remember in my beginning opening, I'll actually read it real quick. I said, believing in God and the Bible, but not believing in free will is very nonsensical and paradoxical. This belief strips all accountability away from us. You get what I'm saying? So, what I'm saying is every time you want to speak about judgment and God and stuff like that, you are appealing to the Bible, which in my definition, that is free will. So truthfully, what I think is maybe we're having a definition problem. That's what I
Yeah,
think the
because
debate is
like
about.
even when
So real quick, let me just explain, because you explained your definition of free will. Let me explain. You explain your definition of not having free will.
right,
Let me explain my definition of not having any free will. Then,
okay,
so us not having any free will will look like the Matrix. It will look like, there's it's before Neo got unplugged. Everything was predetermined. It was hardly any of his choices or anything at all. Everything was predetermined, predestined already. Actually, even when you think about it, even when he got outside of the Matrix, the entire Matrix movie, Neo's path, even when he was unplugged, was still predetermined. So the Matrix movie sums it up all. We don't have any agency. We have not having any free will. It's like we have the idea and a belief that we have free will, but we don't actually have any free will. So we're basically robots thinking that, the zeros and the ones, we control the zeros and the ones, but in reality, the computer program everything with the processes in it of the zeros and the ones of every action and reaction we take.
well, what you're talking about now is what some people would call predestination, which we're not predestined either. Even in that movie, The Matrix, by the time you get to the second and third one, everything Neo did was against programming. And he actually controlled the programmer by the end of it. By the end of it, he had went against everything and went and made a deal. And so he had a choice. He went against what you would call that. But even that's not free will.
No, because
And
the
even
oracle already knew. The oracle already knew it, but not only just knew it, she actually did things to alter his choice. So she actually did things
but see
to
how you still
influence his
saying
choice.
choice? You're not saying free will. Like even when I looked up free will when we was first having a conversation, the first
My definition is free will is attached. Free will and choice is literally the same thing. So anytime I say choice, I'm saying free will.
no, I understand what you're saying. But when I look it up online, it says free will is the ability to make a choice and act independently without being controlled by external forces. That gets rid of free will in the Bible because there is an external force that controls our good and bad. God controls
Not the
our good and
doings of
bad.
the good and the bad. That's the part that we're speaking about.
We are
So
speaking about those parts, but even that, you're making a choice. But you go into that knowing that you cannot disobey or obey without consequence. And even consequence is judgment. Consequence is
that's free
judgment.
will. That's
It's
choice.
not free will.
Okay, I got you. So I'll do this.
Even by definition, no, real
I-
talk. Even by definition, when I read the definition, it says the ability to make a choice and act independently without being controlled by external forces. And we know that God is an external force outside of us that controls our good and bad. If we keep the commandments, we get good. If we break the commandments, we get evil. And God does the evil to us.
you missed a part of where we have. So you just read the definition, but let me add more context to
Okay,
everything.
perfect.
So yeah, that's external forces. Remember in the beginning, I said we have internal forces, like
Mhm.
of that would be of what is it? Predetermination. But we also are determined. We have self-determination. So self-determination will be something that's internal. So we also have external forces that's influencing us, that's putting on, that's influence us for our choices to be predetermined to an extent. But then we are conscious beings and physical human beings, and we have this biological makeup, which we have the ability to self-determine even when it's external things around us. You get what I'm saying?
What do you mean by
So for an example,
self-determined evil? What do you mean by
self-determination.
based,
Self-determination. That's what I'm talking.
based
So
on
it's
what?
predetermination. So real quick, I'll explain. There's predetermination, things that are predetermined. Then there's self-determination. Self-determination can supersede predetermination. What I'm saying is how self-determination supersedes it is if your will, your desire, your will, these desires that you have is stronger and it supersedes what is predetermined, you will make a choice. So let's just explain it for the audience. If a person is influenced, I'll say this, I'll bring up my own example.
Mhm.
I was born in the hood, projects,
Right?
Section 8, Roy projects. You get what I'm saying? Ain't have much. All my brothers smoked, drank, and did stuff. Had a brother that did 20 years in prison. We all got the stories where we
Right.
living in the hood.
Right.
It's pretty crazy. And I was predetermined to cuss, but I never cussed. I was predetermined to smoke weed and sell weed, but I never did it. I was predetermined to do many things from my circumstances and where I was born and all the influences that tried to penetrate me, but I wasn't susceptible to it. My desire to act in a way of my own self-determination superseded all of the influences. This explains and proves that we do have free will, that nothing is actually fate or predetermined, because we can our self-determination can supersede
So,
any external forces.
so if you take what you just said, right?
Sure.
You didn't have free will. You looked at, well, the first thing I want to say is that predetermination wasn't by God. That predetermination was by your upbringing from family. Like you said, we all grew up like that. My father was a heroin addict, grew up in the gangs, not gangs, but grew up, well,
Well, no one's saying that it
they
wasn't
were called
about
gangs.
God, like that.
No,
That wasn't
what
about
I'm saying,
God.
no,
Yeah.
no, your predetermination wasn't by God. It was what you grew up in. Your family grew up like that, like all of our families did. And so now it's like, do you succumb to what your family is doing, or do you make a conscious choice to do the
Free
opposite?
will,
You
and
did,
that's my definition of free will. So
I
think
under,
about
so what
you
you're
read.
Wait,
when
wait.
you read the
Right,
definition off of the
right,
thing, right?
right.
It was external forces. If your internal forces supersedes these external forces, guess what? You have free will.
But you see how you mentioned how your brother did. You see how you mentioned how
Yeah,
your
go ahead.
brother did 20 years, right?
Yeah,
If you would have
total.
came
A
out,
long time.
okay, so if you would have came out and did the same thing as your brothers or as your family, God would have put evil on you, and you'd be in jail too. You would be,
That's
but
consequences.
that's consequences and judgment is the same thing. What I'm saying is that you want to superimpose your definition of free will when free will has a history, has a biblical history, it has a Greek
Wait,
history.
I thought you said that it doesn't have a biblical history.
What I mean, biblical is probably the wrong word. It has a Christian history. So
Well,
free
what
will,
Christianity is in the New Testament. That came about in the New Testament. So
well,
what
Christianity didn't come out in the New Testament. The term Christian is in the New Testament.
is in a new? Yeah, the
Right.
term. That's
The
what I'm
term,
saying. It's in the New Testament. So
but Christianity is
no.
not. Christianity is not in the New Testament. The term Christian, which just means follower of Christ, is in there. And so
Yeah, that's what I.
Augustine,
Yeah, that's what
right?
I mean.
I know.
Yeah,
So Augustine, who was a Christian, developed free will to answer the question of why is all this evil happening. So your lifestyle, your life that you grew up in, you made a conscious choice, like you said,
yeah, but that
but
isn't.
it
You're
wasn't.
saying that
It wasn't.
someone developed something without anyone developing anything in a concept. We all have lived experiences. So prior
I
to
agree,
these,
but what
so,
you knew, I just want, I just want
okay,
to
go
say
ahead. You
this
can
part.
finish. Yeah,
Thank
go
you, I
ahead.
appreciate it. So now, but I do agree. You make a choice, and you knew the evil that came with the choice of following in your family's footsteps, and the good that will come in not following in your family's footsteps. So that was
That's
not
free
free
will.
will. That's not free will. That's just
You don't
a
think that it's not
conscious.
free will?
No, that's a choice. But you
Okay.
can't
So
create
once
your own
again, yeah,
definition of free
well, no,
will.
no, no, no. I'm not creating my
You
own
just
definition of free will.
well, you
No
when
one
I
did.
read the definition, you go against the definition.
No, no, no one went against the definition of free will. I'll actually bring it up and read it to you.
Okay.
Free will is the ability to make choices without being compelled by outside forces. So you make choices without this. What I don't think you get. I don't even think you even reading it right. Or
I'm
you
reading
even
it
understanding?
perfectly.
Okay, I mean, you read it verbally. I'm gonna read it verbally too, and let's walk through it slowly
I thought
because
it
you're
said
missing
external
something.
forces. Oh, you said
Listen,
outside. I'm sorry.
listen.
That's the same thing.
Free will is the ability to make a choice without being compelled by outside forces. That is exactly what I explained. I explained by I wasn't compelled by outside forces, meaning that there were outside forces around in my neighborhood, my family, and everything else. But I wasn't compelled to make a choice based off of that. I was compelled to make a choice based off of something else. You just proved that you actually believe in free will. Booyah! What the heck?
Actually, when you look at that definition,
No,
remember
bro.
the subject of this debate is does God give us free will? That we
Yes.
agreed with that subject, right?
Yeah, but real quick,
Wait.
can you concede
I'm coming
that
right to the
what I
definition of what
said?
you just
I know,
read.
but can you concede to what I said and how I explained from the example that I gave actually means free will?
No,
I
I
proved free
cannot.
will.
I'm gonna show you why.
Okay, go ahead.
So because what you're giving, remember I said earlier when you was talking about the evil, you was talking about evil that humans do. Well, when I was saying God does the evil, I'm talking about the evil that God does. And so there's a difference. So the definition says without being controlled by external forces. God is an external force. Agree? Yes or no?
No, the definition says free will is the ability to make choices without being compelled by outside forces. Compelled is influenced.
Compelled and controlled, I would say is the same
Okay.
thing.
Okay, let's
But
just
is
go. I'll
God
grant it and say it's the same
right?
thing for sure. Go
So
ahead.
is God an external force? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Okay, then you can't apply free will to him then, because when this definition says you're not,
Wait, no one said that. We're saying that God
no,
gave us free will. We're not.
no,
What are you?
you're saying that God gave us free will. But the
Wait,
definition
real
says
quick.
you're
You're
not.
switching things up real quick.
I'm not.
The
This
topic
gonna
of the
hurt.
discussion.
Gonna
No,
hurt.
no, no. This is gonna hurt. The
Right.
topic of the discussion is: does God give us free will?
Right.
So does God give us free
And
will?
God didn't give-
literally, God gave us the free will to literally make choices
No,
outside of
no,
the
he
things
did
that
not.
compel us.
Because if God says I'm gonna kill you, that is
what?
not a choice.
Wait, you mean to tell me that
You
let's
know, an
just bring it back
example of
real quick?
control. You know, an example of control.
No.
is when
Yeah,
God-
yeah. Let's bring it back real quick and
Yeah.
speak about what we were speaking. Don't move the goalpost. Let's stay right here. Don't run. Stay right here.
You say don't
So
run.
you real quick. Stop real quick.
No problem.
You just said free will. We read it off the definition on Google. Free will is the ability to make choices without being compelled by outside forces.
Well, my
There are
definition says
people that they are influenced by God and they still disobey God. Nigga, what do you mean? The sinners. They are literally,
Right.
they're compelled by God. God is telling Adam and Eve, don't bite the apple from that tree. That's an outside force compelling them not to do it. And guess what? They still did it. Booyah. That's the definition of free will inside your own Bible, bro. I'm trying to tell you. You get
always
obliterated
tell-
right now.
You can always tell when a brother get hot. I've been a brother this whole time. Now I'm a nigga. I think it's funny. I just want to point that out. The
listen,
first
man,
nigga,
we've been
I just want to highlight the
like
nigga
our
get
third
to
debate. We've been going back and forth. Nigga this, nigga that.
No, I'm just making. I don't mind it. I don't mind it. So, what I'm gonna say is when it's
Okay, go ahead.
compelled by outside forces, even if you use that, the serpent is trying to counter what God said. God is the outside force telling Adam and Eve, you eat all of these trees, you live. You break this, you die. And when they broke what he said, that same outside force brought evil on them and judged them and punished them. So it was not the definition of free will, because
That is the definition of free will. The definition of free
will is the ability to make choices independently. The choice that
Who said independently?
When God
What you
gave
talking
them
about?
that choice, when they was given that choice, was that choice from an external source or an internal source? When God told Adam and Eve, was that external or internal?
It's external. If it's not
if it's not
self-determined,
so if it's external, then they're not making
Okay,
not making that choice independently. They're
Okay,
making
all
that
right.
choice because God said so. In
Okay.
Deuteronomy
So why
30
did they disobey God?
We'll get to that in a second. I just want to hammer this point on. It's getting rough on you. It's getting rough.
No, it's getting rough
So
on
in
you, my
Deuteronomy-
dog. It's
so
getting
when
rough
you
on
take
you.
that- when you say
I'm gonna do a poll too.
Yeah, do a poll. So in
This is
Deuteronomy,
looking good for you. Go ahead. I'll let you land your plane.
definitely. In Deuteronomy 30 and 16, when God says, I've set before thee life and death, that is an external force giving instructions to us. That is not something that we're doing independently. Before God gave them instructions, we was doing whatever we want. And then here comes an external force that comes to us and gives us instructions on to be good or be bad. And that same external force is controlling the external choice that he gave us. So you can't say that this external force is coming and that's free will. You can't, because external makes it outside of your own independence.
Okay, got it. So, so what you're doing here, you're conflating before the fall and then after the fall. So before the fall of man, there wasn't any death. Once man chose to bite that apple, then, you actually die. You're going to die from, causes of that's not your own, or you're going to die of just your regular body because you age and you get older and you die. So when we're speaking about the free will and everything on how you just tried to move the goalposts and shift well, really you didn't. It's still proven my point that we do have free will. You're just attaching consequences on free will. which there's
No.
there's no action without a reaction in this world that God created. So every action will have a reaction. So if you act this way, it's either going to be a good reaction or a bad reaction. You get what I'm saying? Therefore, you have a choice. You have the free will to make a choice to get a good action or to get a bad action. Me and you both agreed that God is, well, you disagree with objective morality, but we both agreed that God puts the standard for good and bad. God created the standard for good and bad.
I didn't object to that.
Oh,
I
but you
objected that God makes. I objected that God makes us sin. God doesn't make us sin. That's what I said no to.
okay, totally fine. But the point that I'm making is, in your framework, in your belief, you're saying one thing, but then you're meaning another, which it's paradoxical and it's not really making any sense. But anyways, forget about all of that. I don't got a statement.
I just want to say one more thing
question real quick. I got a question for you.
Before you do the question, I just want to respond again on this definition. I just want to give a
Wait, what definition?
What we
free
did
will?
on free will. Yes, I want everybody to just remember, free will is something that you do independently. If it comes from an external source, it's not
free will. Free will.
I don't know why you interrupted me, nigga. I don't know what's happening right now. I'm just trying to say something.
Okay, bro, go ahead.
There
go ahead.
Free will, by definition, is the ability to make choices and act independently. That's what the definition says. So it's not an independent source that's telling us what to do. It's an external source. It's God that's telling us what to do. So by the definition of the word free will, God took away your free will. God took away your freedom. You do not have the freedom to disobey God. You don't.
What?
You do not have the freedom to disobey God. You will be punished. Listen, when I go,
all the sinners. Listen, you going. For every action, there's a reaction. That's the consequences of just
causing the punishment. Who's causing the punishment?
That's the consequences of this human existence, my friend.
Who's causing the punishment? Who's doing the punishment?
The person that chose to do the wrong thing will get punished.
No. Who's doing the punishment?
It doesn't matter about who's doing the punishment.
God is doing the punishment.
Okay. That strips all accountability away from the person. What does that doesn't even make any sense?
How does that?
That does. Listen to what you just said. Listen to what you just said. You just said out of one side of your mouth, well, if you are a sinner and if you do not obey God, right? If you don't obey God,
right,
you will feel consequences, right?
Yes.
If you do obey God, you will not feel those bad consequences. You will feel good consequences, right?
Yes.
Okay. With that means that someone, let's go to the definition real quick and bring it up. Free will is the ability to make a choice without being compelled by outside influences. There are people that don't believe in God, atheist people that don't believe in God, and they make the right choice, and they're not compelled to make a choice on God. Oh, I don't believe in they always said, I don't believe in a sky daddy. I don't believe in divine, all of this type of stuff, but I'm still going to do good.
No, because the scriptures say, what if some did not believe? Shall that unbelief make the word of God none effect? God forbid. So even an atheist not believing still gonna get punished by God. And that's
if what I'm saying, bro, that don't even make sense to what you're saying. If someone that doesn't believe in God, no, listen, we're speaking about free will. You're moving a goalpost. If someone that they're not, you're saying that, well, God is the outside force. That's what you keep saying. If someone is not compelled by that outside force and they still choose to do good, guess what? That's free will. If they choose to do bad, that's still free will. There's people that murder and do crazy bad things and they believe in God. There's people that murder and do crazy bad things and they don't believe in God, and vice versa. They do good that they don't believe in God, and some that do believe in God, they do good.
And
What
the
I'm
reason,
saying
yeah, I'm
here, the
listening.
part that you can't get out of, my friend, real quick, let's just explain it for the audience, is you can't get out of the definition of free will. It's
I broke it
paradoxical.
down.
It's
I killed you
you
on it.
didn't no you know you didn't kill me at
I,
all on
I
it. You
killed
are
you on it.
losing to it. Free
I
will.
killed you on it.
How can I? It's very simple.
Right.
I can demonstrate free will, but you're having problems to demonstrate that there isn't any free will. The onus is on you to demonstrate how there isn't any free will by reading this definition, but
No
you
problem.
cannot.
I'm
But
giving the
I
answer.
can, real quick,
Wait.
stop it. For the
Okay.
audience, let me speak.
No
For the
problem. Go ahead.
audience, if everyone's listening, I can demonstrate how there is free will. My friend over here cannot demonstrate how there isn't any free will. This entire conversation is proving free will by definition.
So-
But for him, he can't prove that we don't have free will by definition. He can't even prove it biblically that we don't have free will, because every scripture in the Bible appeals to this definition of free will.
Okay.
I'll say it again for the audience. For the audience that's back there listening. Every scripture that he reads appeals to this definition of free will, which explains in the Bible we have free will. Why would God judge you on sinning if you can't act outside of not sinning? I'll say it again.
You asking me a
Why
question?
no, I'm just speaking to the
Okay,
audience
gotcha.
too,
Okay,
so they can
okay.
understand where this conversation is going. How can God say, "Hey, I don't want you to sin. I don't want you to sin at all," but then I'm going to judge you on sinning? That's totally fine. That's totally fine. That means he's making that judgment. But every time he appeals to this definition of free will, it includes it into every scripture, meaning that God always wants you to obey him. He always wants you to obey him regardless of the things that appeal you. If it's internal flesh food desires that's appealing you to disobey him, if it's external flesh food desires that's appealing you to disobey him, he still wants you to obey him. Good things will happen. If you don't obey him, bad things are happening. So everything still appeals to the definition of free will is the ability to make choices without being compelled by outside forces.
When you compel somebody about death, that's not a choice.
Wait, what? How
I-
isn't that a choice? If you got a gun
No,
to
no,
your
no, no,
head,
no.
if
Wait.
a
I said
gunman
it
comes
wrong.
up,
Wait. I said it wrong. When you
okay,
compel
you're about to get
somebody,
smacked on that
when
one.
you compel somebody to death, that's not free will. There's nothing that you said tonight that exemplifies free will. And then you said,
Okay, so let me ask you
I
a
have
question.
not- wait,
If a gunman, if someone has a gun to your head, real quick, let's just stop it here. Let's do
Right.
it point by point.
Right.
If someone has a gun to your head, and they say, "Hey, give me all of your money, or I'm going to kill you."
Right.
So
That's what I
you're
said
saying
earlier.
that you have. So you're saying that you have no choice but to just
I
give
didn't
them
say
all
you
of
don't
your
have a
money.
choice. No, I did not say.
Okay,
you don't
so
have
what
a
do you have?
choice. You don't have the freedom.
You don't have the freedom
You don't have the freedom to say no to him.
to death.
No,
You
no,
don't
no.
have the freedom to say no to him.
No, because if you say no, you die. If it's free, remember the definition. Remember the definition you said. The definition
You're
that we read.
limited. Your thinking is limited. If someone has a gun to my head, if someone has a gun to my head, I'm gonna act. I could do a multitude of things. I could fight the man to defend myself by saying no. I could physically say no and leave it all up to him, on him to choose, for him to make the choice to kill me or not. Or I could defend. I could defend or I could stay complacent and not choose anything.
Is that an external source
What?
that's compelling your decision?
If
Yes or
someone
no?
has a gun
Now,
to your head.
let me ask the question again.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah, ask the question.
Is that an external source that's compelling your decision? Yes or no?
The gun to my head.
Is that an external source? Yes or no? That's compelling your decision? Yes or no?
Only if I appeal to it. Yeah.
Then that's not free will, because the definition of free will is what you do independently. If there's something external,
if I appeal to it,
No,
you just got
cut yourself.
obliterated here. If I don't appeal to it, it's free will.
Oh my God! Listen,
Bro, What's going on with you? Listen.
Listen, wait, hold on, nigga.
I don't. You have a choice to not appeal to it.
We're not talking about choice right now.
We're talking about free will, and that is choice.
We're talking about free will and the definition of free will.
Explain to me the definition of free will without choice.
The definition of free will said what you do independently of something external.
That is choice.
Wait. The example that you gave.
I'll let you speak. Go ahead.
Don't sweat. The example that you gave is an external source that's controlling what decision you make. I don't know how you think I'm getting cooked. I'm
actually just educate you now because it ain't even. Forget me doing the punchlines and going back and forth. I just want
to respond to something that you said earlier. You said that I have not demonstrated.
No. Let's not move the goalposts. Let's keep it here.
Ain't gonna take no more 10 seconds.
Okay, because we still talking about the gunman.
Right. I did give examples of the evil when I brought out how the homosexuals die. If I was to go with the children of Israel, our punishment is the Lord's evil. So now with the gunman, I just want to put that on record. So now with the gunman.
Okay.
So let's say you and I, we chilling, we hanging out, we out at the studio, we come outside. A robber comes. 2 robbers come because it's 2 of us. They put a gun to both of our head and tell us we got to give up this fly ass chain I got. You got to give up your fly things. Now, we have a choice.
We have to give it up.
No. We don't have to. But we know if we don't give it up, there's a consequence that come with it.
Yeah, have to give it up or death.
Right. But that's not free will because Cooley is not doing nothing and neither is Tazaryach doing anything of their own free will. Tazaryach and Cooley is not independently giving my chain up. Cooley is not independently giving his stuff up. We are externally making a choice based on what an outside source is trying to influence us to do. That's how you know it's not free will based on the definition. Body bag.
Okay, here we go. Now let's just refute this all. This is gonna be easily refuted.
You have been body bag by Captain Tazaryach.
This guy got a sound effect. Come on, man. Why your sound effect that long, bro? Yo, it's funny because this gonna be defeated so easily. And I'ma just look in the camera for this one. So, chat, listen to his example of how he tried to explain that we do not have free will. And by definition, well, I'm going to look at the computer too, because since I'm got to read the definition back and forth. Right. By using free will. Free will is the ability to make choices without being compelled by outside forces. He says that the gunman, we in the studio, and we all walk outside, and the gunman points a gun to us, to our heads, and he says, give me everything you got or you will die. So he says that, well, the gunman is the outside force. And the gunman is compelling us to make the choice of giving him the money, giving our money to him. But guess what, Chad? It's very simple. Because you do not have to give the gunman your money at all. You can fight back. So I'll say this.
I never said
someone's free will, real quick, someone's free will can definitely compel someone else's free will as far as it's the strongest survive. So if he points a gun to my head and makes a statement, and I could be like, no, nigga, and pull out a gun and blast him myself or defend myself. So it's force against force. You get what I'm saying? So if the outside force is stronger than the force that you can push back on his force, then guess what? That is you making a choice without being compelled by his outside force. I'll repeat again, his outside force of the gunman. You actually have many choices in this situation because once again, the definition of free will is without choice. But in this scenario, you have choice. You have choice. You have choice to defend yourself. You have choice to not do nothing at all. So you don't even got to give the money to the guy. You don't have to give anything to him. So within this, let's see how many choices we have. We have the one choice to submit to the gunman and give him everything we have. We have another choice to not do anything and just stand there and look at the nigga like, yeah, nigga, whatever. You have another choice to defend yourself and fight back. You have another choice to run away. So within this just defeated everything he just said. He thought he was spitting, but he wasn't spitting. You just literally explained free will.
Okay.
You literally explained it.
Can I respond now? Thank you.
This is the body bag session.
I actually have a question for you. Because remember, you wanted to reply back to and you brought up the scenario, but I have a question for you because I've been defending free will. And actually, guess what?
We've both been going back and forth.
Guess what? You actually you've been defending free will too, and you don't even know it.
That's cap.
You've actually been on my side defending free will.
I guarantee if you put a poll,
scriptures in the Bible defended free will. Everything you've been saying been defending free will.
Okay,
that's what I'm trying to. Even when you appeal to the Bible, you're appealing to free will. So real quick, here's a question for you, bro. Before I let you go, you know what I mean? Yep. So you have to defend free will. Actually, you have to defend the opposite of this definition. Free will is the ability to make choices without being compelled outside of forces. Without being compelled by outside forces. So that means that you have to defend a situation where, because that gun story you made, you totally bad on that.
You got the gun story.
Bring up some example or give some type of analogy where you can defend free will, where you cannot make any choices outside forces. Give me an example or explain to me how you can't make a choice outside of outside forces. Go ahead.
Wait. I don't want to answer yet. When you say give an example and I can make a choice without outside forces, I don't know what you...
Real quick, I'll just say it again.
Yeah, explain it in a different way.
Yeah, I'll explain it in a different way. Free will is the ability to make choices without being compelled by outside forces.
Okay.
So give me an example where free will, give me an example to claim that we don't have free will, where you cannot, right? You cannot make choices outside. You cannot make choices compelled by outside forces. All the examples that I gave and how I defended free will, I gave examples and explained how we can make choices without being compelled by outside. But I need you to explain how we can't.
So I'm gonna give an example before I answer, just to see if we talk about the same thing.
We talk about the definition.
No, I want to give this example to see if it's what you talk about. If I got up right now, my office is in the back where I make my butters. I have the free will after this live stream to get up and go make them butters, or I could not. And then there's no outside force that controls that. Is that what you're saying?
Oh, well, I'm sorry. Say that one more time for me.
No problem. So my business is right on the other side of my house, right?
Yeah.
So after this live stream is over, I can get up freely and go make those butters that I have to make for my business, or I could choose not to, and there's no outside force that controls that. Is that what you're asking me?
No. I'm not asking you that, because it has to be something that compels you to. So meaning that, so I'll say it this way. Let's say if let's use the same, you have the ability to walk over and get some coffee. That's what you said, right?
I said make some butters. Yep.
Oh, make some butter. This nigga said butter.
Nah, wait. Hold on. You see this shit right now? Don't
you be making butter?
Yeah.
All right, fair enough, nigga. All right, my bad.
Wait, this is a little promo. So I sell. Wait. Let me promo so they don't know what I'm talking about. So I sell. Yeah. Let me do my promo, man. So if you go to cargas.com, I sell body butters right there. The
body butter.
Yeah, body butter. So use the body butter, put it on your body lotion. I make
like cream and stuff.
Yeah. I make
That's dope, man.
I make sprays. I make beard oil. Listen, I got some hair crack. I ain't got no with me, but I got some hair crack that'll have your hair growing right, beard shining, the whole night.
Yeah.
I got the whole
Look,
setup.
I see how you trying to obfuscate off of defending.
Nah, you try to make fun of my butters. I want people to know what the butters is. That's
this guy. All right, man. Let's this is what I mean, right?
Ahead.
So using your example of you can walk down to the office to get free make the butter,
right,
or you can choose not to. That isn't an example of free will. Free will is if someone if you were influenced. It was an outside force that was compelling you, right? Compelling you.
Wait, you said that's not an example of free will? There's no consequence. There's no outside force controlling
No,
you. That is free will.
that isn't an example of the definition of free will.
Free
What we're
will
reading.
says to
That
do
you have to be
anything
compelled.
independently without being compelled from an outside force. So I'm not compelled by an outside force. I'm independently can end this live stream when we get done and independently go make them butters or not make them butters. That is free will. I just answered. Light work.
But
Light work. Light work.
I get you. Yeah, that's what I'm. That's not. That's not the question that I'm asking you. Because remember, we're trying to clarify what I was asking you.
Right. Exactly.
Yes, that is free will because you are free to do what you want in that situation.
You know what I'm gonna tell you? Wait, before you go, before you go, I just want to say one thing. When you brought up them butters, though, you as an outside force took away my free will and compelled me to promote them butters. So now that's an example of your outside ass coming in telling me, making me promote the butters. You influenced and took away my free will.
So I took away your free will. But the question is, you could have chose not to do it.
Right. I could have chosen not to do it.
There we go.
Right, but that's not. But once
so that's the perfect example. Let me finish real quick so I can speak because I'll let you go. Because to make it so you can understand where I'm coming from, because I think that you're viewing things incorrectly here, or we're just viewing it differently. So yeah, what you said was if you could go walk down to your office and you can get some butter, or you could choose not to do it. You having the ability to choose or not to choose, that's free will. Yeah, that is free will. But then the other thing is, like the example you just used, you just said, well, Cooley, you actually compelled me. You are the one that compelled, you are an outside force that compelled me to actually promote my butter. What you did was that wasn't part of the scenario. I didn't compel you to actually go and make the butter. So let's not confuse the audience. That wasn't happening. You talking about you went to promoting the butter. No, that wasn't the same example. You chose to promote it.
You compelled me to do something.
So you actually, if we're being clear here, you actually operated them free will, because within this, I could have compelled you to do exactly what you said, which to get up and go over there and make the butter. But instead, you wasn't compelled. You chose this to promote the butter. So you did the opposite of what you just said. Booyah!
No,
you have free will. You actually just proven there with your own example that you have free will.
Well, I never said so. I when I first started that scenario, I said that's an example. No, I'm cooking you
session.
because I'm the one that said it was free will from the gate.
Make me some butter.
You can't make it as good as me. Yours ain't gonna be as good as mine, though.
I don't think we got free will, nigga. Actually, I agree with you because I'm about to make some butter. Look, man, you just compelled me. No, I'm playing with you.
No sweat. But when I first gave the example, I gave a clean example of free will because that was my independent thought. It was no outside influence that altered or did anything to me. When I said you was an outside influence, free will, the external source is not about doing or not doing what you set out to do. It's about an external force that
compelling you to do something what you already had sought out to do.
No. That's not what the definition says. The definition doesn't say
what you're talking about.
The definition does say
an outside.
It doesn't say compelling you to do what you was gonna do. It just says independently without being controlled by external forces.
Yeah. So with
when
that
you
being
brought that
said,
new concept, you controlled that I grabbed my butter.
No, that wasn't a new concept.
That was a new concept because even you tried to say no.
Listen,
you was going to do
you
the
already
butter.
have your butter there because this was a plan. What are you talking about? No. You got your butter right next to you because you're like, you know what? I'm selling the butters, the oils. You got everything.
This is my championship belt right here. I put this here.
Right, man, listen. Let's get back to the debate. Let's get back.
Belt. This is about the debate. This is my belt because I'm winning.
You taking many L's.
Belt right there.
You taking many L's. And look, before we do this, actually, because I got a lot of questions for you to catch you in many contradictions. You already been contradicting yourself, but fair enough. Before we do that, everybody on Facebook, come on over to YouTube. I'm going to go ahead and close down a Facebook stream now. I was supposed to close it out like 45 minutes ago. But come on over to YouTube right now. We are live, Nofugazy podcast. Homie been getting cooked all night long. And we're going to continue to keep on cooking. Keep on cooking. 1 second here. Let me close this out.
Okay.
All right, cool. So went ahead and closed that out. Now, everyone that's currently in here, I need you to do something. Don't be a ninja watcher. I need you to do one thing for me and get the likes up, subscribe to the YouTube channel, click that bell icon too. We pushing out some good content for y'all, man.
Definitely. I think I'm going to end my Facebook.
Do that for me now. We got a lot of people in here. Do that for me now. Okay, cool. So we still speaking about free will. Now, I'm just going to sum it up real quick in regards to that last conversation to what we just had and clarify a few things when we were speaking about free will and you gave that example. And then I have some questions for you. You can ask me any questions too. Only got like 2 questions for you.
Okay,
though,
no
really.
problem. That's cool.
So in regards to the situation about him going to get the butter, what he tried to do was very, very nice, but it just didn't work. He spoke about the butter, and then he spoke about going to get the butter. He explained, yeah, I could go and get the butter, or I could not get the butter. That's free will. That's totally fine. I said, yeah, that would be you having the ability to make the choice to do something or to not to do something. Free will. So even he, remember, during this podcast, he was trying to separate free will and choice. But currently now he can't even separate free will from choice. He's always still attaching choice to free will. Always attaching choice to free will. I told you, it's paradoxical for him to do it. You can't do it. In his worldview. Now, if I was debating an atheist, let me bring you back up here, my bad. If I was debating an atheist, that would be something totally different. Well, guess what? Their beliefs is they don't get their epistemology from biblical scriptures. They don't get their knowledge from biblical scriptures. But he does get his knowledge from biblical scriptures. And biblical scriptures has a moral backing of good and bad and consequences for the good and bad. So this entire principle that the biblical scripture operates under is free will, meaning that, well, why would God judge you if you don't have free will? Well, I'm not going to judge you. Nothing evil is going to happen. You don't have any free will. You get what I'm saying? Like you're actually being compelled by outside influences, and you can't reject it. You can't reject the outside influences. You're always being compelled, and everything that you're being compelled on the outside influences, you have no control over it. Zero control. We just explained it here with many examples. He is even proving my point that within the examples, even when you're compelled by outside forces, you actually can choose not to do what you're compelled by. With the gun analogy, with the walk into the butter analogy, with all of it. So here's a question for you. I just wanted to sum that up. Yeah. So a question for you real quick. So if we do not have free will, and which is the ability to make choice, which you conceded to, because that's how you've been operating under that framework the entire time. Where do we get meaning from?
What type of meaning? The meaning of life?
Meaning of anything, like, you know, the meaning of love, the meaning of like why go to work? Like some people go to work for meaning. So like we have a whole value system. So where do we get meaning from, and why did we create a value system where we value things based off of it being lower value or higher value, or good or bad, and all of these things we derive meaning from?
Well, we didn't derive anything because in this life, thank you. Because in this life, gays can get married, men can change their sex, women can change their sex. Just today, there was an article came out where they denied Frederick Douglass from being celebrated, even though he was celebrated every year since his death. But meanwhile, they have a President's Day. So our meaning is.
You don't think some people get meaning from that? You don't think
meaning from what, Frederick Douglass?
Meaning from all of the things you said, including Frederick Douglass, including the
Well,
gays and all of that. You don't think they get
no,
any
what I'm
meaning from
no,
things?
they could get meaning from that, but this is about God. God hates them gays. God hates Frederick Douglass not getting the honor that the white man gets as they have President's Day. God hates that. So when you talk about the meaning, if we're talking about God, this is Ecclesiastes 12 and 13 rather. It says, let us hear the conclusion of the matter. Fear God. It don't say love him. It says, fear God and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. When
Okay,
you're
so the real quick, my thing is, I'm saying that people do get meaning out of doing degenerate things. You would have to disprove that. People get meaning out of being homosexual. People get meaning out of flesh food desires all the time, man. Like what do you think that's enticing them to dive into those desires? Yes, is hedonism. That's what it is, but they do get meaning out of it. If they didn't get any meaning out of it, which is pleasure and stuff, then they wouldn't actually do it. So void of free will, my question is, which I'm just having a hard time answering, my question is, void of free will. If we don't have any free will, where do we get meaning from? And why do we have these value systems which even give us meaning?
the reason why, well, I answered the question. We get our meaning from our obedience to God,
No, but there's people that don't obey God and they
and
still
they
get meaning
die
out of their
for
flesh
it,
food desires.
and they die.
Totally
God
fine.
killed,
They still
right?
got
So
meaning out of it.
you want listen now. What you're fighting me on right now is that we have to obey God because I
No, I'm not
clearly
fighting you on that.
so the
No
meaning
one's
of
fighting you
life.
on that.
So the meaning of life is to obey God. That's the meaning. What you're bringing up is,
Some
do I
people's
think
meaning is not to obey God, though.
I'm about to address that. So
Okay,
so
address
then you
that part.
right. So you bring up that there's some people that don't obey God, and so they get meaning by doing the things that they do for themselves, and God kills them. Romans. That's why I
Okay,
read Rome. Wait, wait.
they feel consequences.
Let me
God
finish.
kills
Wait, wait.
people that
One
even
second.
do their meaning.
Let me finish answering. Romans 3. It
There's
says
people that get killed
you
in
gotta, you
storms.
gotta
There's
let me
people
finish
that get
answering.
killed by Mother Nature that does
That's
God
not
meaning.
Mother Nature.
People
That is not
people
Mother
die
Nature.
all
That's
the
God.
time from doing God's
Don't give
meaning, and
credit
people
to
die all the
when we
time
see
from
this
when
death
they
from
don't do
Mother
God's
Nature.
meaning.
You got to give it credit to who it belongs to. Romans 3 says, "For what if some did not believe? Shall their unbelief make the faith of God without effect?" You know what the faith of God without effect is? That He's still going to punish you, even if you don't believe in Him. Even if you don't believe in Him, there's still floods coming, hurricanes coming,
That's just
diseases
moving the
coming,
goalposts off the
famine.
topic what
That's
we
not.
speaking about.
No, it's not, because you
Yeah,
said,
it
"What's
is.
the meaning?" You said, "What's the meaning?" I said, "Fear God, keep the commandments." You said, "What about those that don't fear God?" So now I'm
Yeah,
answering your
they
question.
still get meaning.
Even if they don't believe in God and think that they're getting in meaning, they're gonna die. God's going to
That
punish them. Even the
okay.
Bible says that Christ has the keys to hell and death. So Christ is the one that gives you hell or give you death.
Yeah. That's totally fine.
No
No one.
problem. So if
That's
they
not the
decide
argument.
to live
No,
so what I'm saying
I
is, if
think
they
you're.
decide to live a life,
Listen, I already know that. I think you're
but if they,
misinterpreting my question.
but if
Like you're
they,
not actually giving me an answer.
I
So
am giving you an answer.
no, that isn't the answer. Like these are things that I mean, that's fine. These are things that proves free will. I want you
It
to
doesn't prove
disprove
free
free
will.
will.
Okay,
Yeah, it does prove free will
got
because if you do X, Y, Z and don't obey God,
you.
you're going to get consequences. If you do X, Y, Z and do obey God, you still get consequences. So there's still consequences attached to any action you make. The argument isn't consequences. We know that there's good consequences and there's bad consequences. The point that I'm making
Who's
is that
causing it?
someone is still free
Who's
to make
causing
their choice, and they're going to feel either bad things or good things.
Okay.
Then there's people that actually live
Wait a
a
minute.
normal, great life and they obey God and they still feel bad consequences. So think
They're
about
not
babies
obeying
and
God
stuff.
then. Right. They're not obeying
Well,
God.
that doesn't make any sense. You think about babies that come out with
God
disabilities.
killed
You
them
think about
babies. God
oh,
punished them babies.
okay, that is
That's
totally
in the
fine.
Bible.
That's not the point, though. The
God
point that I'm
said that He
making,
visit. One second. God
the point
said
that I'm
that He
making is
visit
is
the
still
iniquities.
consequences for
But
things.
God said that He visit the iniquities of the fathers to the third and fourth generation.
Yeah,
So when
bro.
we see
Okay,
those
answer the
things
question. I'll just
happening,
repeat it back real quick because you're moving a goalpost so
I'm
much.
answering the question.
If you don't have free will, if you don't have free will, and guess what? You couldn't demonstrate how you don't have free will without
I
having
did.
choice. So
I
which
did.
means that free will includes choice.
No, no,
Demonstrate it
no,
then.
no, no. I
You
did.
never demonstrated
I'm
it.
demonstrating it. The question that you're asking me,
No, time out real quick. Don't even answer the question. Then let's go back to you demonstrating how we don't how
I'm,
free
I'm,
will
I'm
isn't
about
tied
to,
to
I'm
choice. Go
responding to
ahead.
you. The definition of free will requires it to not be an external source that's controlling your free decision. The question that you're asking comes from an external source that's controlling your decision.
No, no one says require.
It's God. You're asking
You're
me. You're
you're
asking me.
making the definition incorrect. Is
I'm
no one
not.
says
I
require.
just was.
Requirement is
Yeah,
not
yeah.
even a
Is God
requirement
an
in
external
anything.
source?
Stop it. There's no
Is God an
requirement in the
external
definition of
source?
free will.
Is
Stop
God
it.
an
There's no
external source?
requirement.
Is God an external source?
Stop it. There's no
I'm asking the
requirement
question. Is
of
God an external
no.
source?
You didn't answer any of my questions, and
This
I'm
is
questioning you.
answering your
You're saying is God
wait,
an external force? No. Don't move the goalposts.
I'm,
Let's
I'm
go back to
answering your
what we
question.
speaking about. No, you're
Okay,
not. No, you're not.
okay, so
I want you
I'll
to
answer without
explain.
asking your
No,
question.
real
I'll
quick.
answer without asking your
Okay,
question.
no. Let me ask the question again because I don't think you even know it. You're like moving off. It's very simple. The first question, I'm going to say it again, but I don't want you to answer it. I want you to answer the second question. But the first question is, if we don't have free will, where do we get meaning from? Then I'm
I,
telling you, you have
right.
not explained or demonstrated how free will is not attached to choice. You have not demonstrated or explained how free will is not attached to choice. Everything that you do is demonstrating how free will appeals to choice. It is attached to choice. So I want you now, before you even answer the main question, demonstrate how free will isn't attached to choice.
I never said that free will is not attached to choice.
Oh
Because
man, yeah,
what
you
I said,
did. Now we gotta
I
rewind
just
the tape back,
no,
bro.
no. I just want to
Yes, you
finish.
did,
Like if I could speak uninterrupted, I just let you ramble like that.
bro.
So now,
Listen, man, you
because
now
free
you
will,
lying,
what
man.
I said was the subject is, does God give us free will? I even gave an example of how I can freely make a choice of making my butters or not. But if God said, don't be a homosexual, God is not telling you to be a homosexual. God did not create homosexuals, but God is going to destroy homosexuals.
That's
So
just consequence. You're still not
when you asked
explaining.
about the meaning, the answer that I gave was from God because the subject is about God. The debate is about God. So I gave two sides of the coin. The first thing I said was God said to fear him and keep the commandments. That's the whole duty of life. So according to God, that's our meaning. That's our purpose. And then you said, what about people that don't believe in God and get a meaning of life of being a homosexual, living like this, living many different ways that don't believe God? I answered you directly by saying the Bible says, what if some don't believe? Shall that make the faith of God none effect? When you
You're
keep,
appealing to
let me answer.
consequences.
Let me answer.
Bro, you're appealing to consequence.
So
That isn't the
if you
question. The question isn't consequences.
that is
The
not a mean.
question is
So
void of
I'm
free
not. You're
will. Where do you
interrupting.
get meaning from?
You're interrupting in the answer because for me, if you live outside of God, if we're talking about God and you live outside of God, there is no meaning of life outside of God. And for somebody that lives outside of God, verse 5 says, if our unrighteousness commends the righteousness of God, God gonna punish you even if you don't believe in him. So the only choice we have is to fear God, live according to him. That is the purpose of mankind, to
Totally
live
fine. Now
according to
explain
God.
to me, totally fine. Explain to me and please demonstrate it how someone that disobeys God does not get meaning out of them disobeying God. The statement would be, I'll go ahead and answer, why would they even disobey God if they didn't get any meaning
Because
out
of
of
Christians.
disobeying God? They
Christians is
do
the
get
reason why
meaning
we
out
don't
of it,
obey. Christians is the
listen,
reason
bro,
why we
you
don't obey God.
cannot,
That's
here's
the
what's
absolute
happening here
reason
real
why
quick.
we don't make
You
why we don't believe
cannot
in God.
explain free will
I explained
and
it.
that we
The
don't,
reason why you switch into meaning is because I've
it's a
explained free
question.
will. I answered the question.
No,
I answered it on
okay.
both sides. I
I
answered
got it.
for
So
the
let me
purpose
just
of life.
explain what's
I
happening
answered,
here.
wait 1 second. I
Let me
answered for
explain
the
the confusion.
no. You do all the explaining. I answered the meaning of life, and then I answered those that don't believe in that meaning of life.
But you're
So I
making an
answered your question.
assertion that
I'm
they
not
don't.
making
You're making an
an assertion.
assertion that they do
Listen,
not
man,
get any
the
meaning.
Bible,
Stop
God
real quick.
said,
Listen real
Amos
quick.
3, God
Cap,
said
Cap.
in Amos, well, I was talking, you interrupted me. I was the
Yeah,
one
yeah,
talking.
Cap.
Thank you.
I
So
think what's
Amos 3
happening
and
here,
6.
real quick, Cap.
No, but you're trying to stop
No,
me. I'm talking. You
I,
gotta let me
I
finish.
got it real quick. I do understand what's happening here.
You
You're
gotta let me
switching the
finish.
meanings of words and
You
stuff
gotta
like
let me
that.
finish though. Amos 3 and 6, God said, shall they be evil in a city, and God have not done it. So when you see the punishments,
Got it.
when
Land your
you
plane.
see
Make
the
it concise, man.
if you stop interrupting me, I could have landed it.
I
So
mean,
now,
I
when
let you
God
rock.
said in Amos 3, no, you have not. In Amos 3 and 6,
I
God
have, but go
said,
ahead.
shall there be evil in the city, and God have not done it. So when you see the judgment in these cities, and you see the punishments in these cities, God
That's
did it.
consequences.
So even those that want to live a life of a drug dealer, go to jail, become drug addicts, get strung out, and then generationally that happens to us because we're seeking our purpose of life. Whereas you are an example of seeing
Yeah,
your family living their purpose of life, and you chose to live the opposite purpose of life.
that proves free will.
That is not free
You
will. Because
everything
if
that
you
you're
would have went
okay.
down that same
What
road, the same things would have happened to you. Just like if I went down the same road of my father, the same thing would have happened to me.
I made a choice. Once
You
again, you
made a
just
choice,
admitted
but
here.
it
You
wasn't
just
free.
admitted we can't. You just
You made
lost the
a
debate,
choice, but
bro.
it wasn't
You just
free.
admitted. That's what I wanted you to do, real quick. I'll let you get it out. You've already admitted that you cannot detach free will from choice. You just
No, I did
admitted that
not.
you cannot do that.
I did
Yeah,
not.
bro. Now you're being very dishonest,
No,
Cap.
I'm not. You just twisting the
Cap.
way that I said
So
it.
first in the beginning of the podcast, Cap, you said that no, free will and choice is different meanings. Free will,
Different meanings. That's correct.
you said there's different meanings.
Right.
In the beginning of the
Right.
podcast, then literally just 5 minutes ago, we can rewind the tape. Matter of fact, I'll rewind it for you and show you because I do this live on people all the time. I'm a great listener and I have amazing active listening skills. I'm going to rewind it live on the podcast so you can see. The audience already
Just make
sees it,
sure
but
you play all of what I
so you can
said.
see.
I know
Oh
what
yeah,
I
I'm
said.
gonna
Just
play
make
it.
sure
Yeah,
you
I'm gonna play
all
real
of it.
quick.
Appreciate it.
Got it. I'm gonna mute both of us real quick and bring it up.
Okay.
Get the likes up real quick, though. Okay. I'm bringing it up, and we're gonna rewind it, and we're gonna play
Play the
because you
whole
literally
thing.
just said it.
Just play the whole thing.
And actually, anyone in the chat, if you can give me a timestamp of when he
Let's see.
said he never said that free will is detached from choice. If you can bring me that timestamp, that'll
I
help
never
even
said
perfect.
that.
Because I know we got some people in here watching right
But
now,
I
but I'm
never
gonna go
said
ahead and
free
try to
will
find
was
it.
detached from choice. I never used that term.
Scam Chan, I see you in here. We do it live, brother.
Yeah, I didn't say that. Can you hear me or no? I don't know because you got me on the bottom. I don't know if you can hear me. Hey, y'all. When I say, if I could come to myself real fast. Hold on 1 second. Let me see. Let me come here. Let me put myself on the screen right now. Let me put me on the screen.
Ooh, I just found it.
Okay.
Oh, just found it. Okay. Let me bring it back a little bit right there. And let me share my screen. I'm going to unmute you, Cap. You unmuted now.
I appreciate
we're gonna
it.
share my screen.
Remember, he said that I said that free will is detached. I did not say that. But go ahead and play it. Why I gotta be
No.
little
Now
though?
you're just lying. You just the point
Why I
that
gotta
we're
be little? Why I gotta be little?
no. The point that we're saying here. You like a. I don't want to make any habitums. I don't do that. I like you, but listen, man. Don't do that, man. You literally just said, don't gaslight. You literally just said that free will and choice is, in the beginning, you said is detached. Free will and choice is not attached together. Then just a few minutes ago, you said that, well, no, I said, try to prove how free will and choice is detached. You can't do it. And then you said, well, I never said that free will and choice is detached. They are attached.
No. What I said was,
I'm going to play right now. Let's not speak.
Okay,
let me just play it. I found it. Hold up, let me share my screen. All right. I'm going to go ahead and mute you. So not this picking up in the background. Put it right here. And here we go. Say it again, but I don't want you to answer it. I want you to answer the second question.
Make it
But
bigger.
the first question is, if we don't have free will, where do we get meaning from? Then I'm telling you, you have not explained or demonstrated how free will is not attached to choice. You have not demonstrated or explained how free will is not attached to choice. Everything that you do is demonstrating how free will appeals to choice. It is attached to choice. So I want you now, before you even answer the main question, demonstrate how free will isn't attached to choice.
I never said that free will is not attached to choice.
Oh man, yeah, you
What I
did.
said-
Now we gotta rewind the tape back, bro.
No, I just
Look,
wait. Just play it off. Play it off.
that's
Can you just
booyah.
finish- can you
That's
just finish-
booyah on him.
Nofugazy.
That's booyah on him.
And you
So
just
look,
finished
he
playing
just said
it.
that I never. So he's
you just
insinuating.
finish
He's saying I never said that free will
Am I
is
muted?
not attached to choice. He's
You just
insinuating that free will is attached to choice. So all of these
Well, I
examples that he's giving is literally proving free will because he's talking about choice.
All I'm
He's
asking-
talking about choice.
Can you
That's the
finish
end
playing-
of the debate.
Can you
And I'm
finish-
going to go further where he just lied again about it.
Wait,
Get
hold
the
on,
likes
hold
up,
on, hold on, hold on.
everybody.
Wait,
We
you
live.
said-
We do
you
it
said-
live.
hold
They're
on.
not going to
Am I
lie on
muted?
us. This Nofugazy
Am I muted?
podcast.
Am I muted?
Biggest
Can you play the
podcast
rest?
ever. We don't lie over here. Yeah.
Okay, can you
Let's
you
go.
said
Hold
you
up.
said
Let's
wait,
play it
can you
again.
unmute me? Can you
Play
unmute
it
me?
again real quick.
Can you
Let's
unmute
go.
me? Can
We
you
about
unmute?
to play the part where he even speaks about
Wait,
it
wait,
more.
wait, no, play. Why you can't
he
play
lies
what-
again.
Why you
Living
can't-
like this. Living
Totally
Okay,
fine.
but I don't- but I-
Explain to me and please demonstrate it how someone that disobeys God does not get meaning out of them disobeying God. The statement would be, I'll go ahead and answer, why would they even disobey God if they didn't get any meaning out
Because
of
he said he would play
disobeying
it off.
God? They
Christians
do
is
get
the reason
meaning
why
out of
we don't
it.
obey- Christians is
Listen,
the
bro,
reason why
you
we don't obey
cannot,
God.
here's
That's
what's
the
happening
absolute
here real
reason
quick.
why we don't
You
why we don't
cannot
believe in God.
explain free will
I
and
explained
that
it.
we don't.
The reason why you switch into meaning is because I've explained free
question.
will. I answered the question.
No,
I answered it on
let's
both
keep
sides.
going.
I
I got it.
answered.
So
for
let
the
me just
purpose of
explain
life.
what's happening
I
here.
answered- Wait one second.
Let me
I
explain
answered
the
for
confusion.
No. It happens
Move
to
up a
us
little bit.
because we're
Hey,
seeking
can I
our
be
purpose of
heard?
life. Whereas you are an example of seeing your family living their purpose of life.
So look, chat is
Can
about
I
to
be
come up.
heard?
It's another contradiction,
Can I be
another
heard?
contradiction. So in one part of his breath, he says that, oh, I didn't say that in the beginning of the podcast. He says that free will and choice, they have two different meanings. They're not together. Then you just heard him say, and when I said that I got him, you heard him say, well, I never said that free will and choice is not together, meaning he's insinuating that free will and choice is together. Now he's going to contradict himself again. Watch, it's about to come up.
And you chose to live the opposite purpose of life.
That proves free will.
That is not free will.
Everything
Because
that
if
you're
you would have
okay.
went down that same road, the same things would have happened to you. Just like if I went down the same road of my father, the same thing would have happened to me.
I made a choice. Once again, you just
made a
admitted
choice,
here.
but it
You just
wasn't
admitted
free.
we can't. You just lost
You
the
made a
debate, bro.
choice.
Look, he just lost the debate. It's about to come up again, and he's gonna lie. Watch.
But it
You
wasn't
just
free.
admitted. That's what I wanted you to do, real quick. I'll let you get it out. You've already admitted that you cannot detach free will from choice. You just admitted
I
that
did
you
not.
cannot do that. Yeah,
I did not.
bro. Now. Okay, so now he's saying that he does not. Wait, what? That's the opposite from what he just said. That's the opposite from what he just said. Oh, that is it. That's the debate, dog. That's the debate. Oh, you're being very dishonest, Cap.
No, I'm not. You just twisting
Cap.
the way that
So
I said it.
first, yo, that's it. All right, let's stop sharing. Let's stop sharing because that just proved everything I was saying. All right, cool. Let's bring that out. Let's bring that up. Okay, let's bring Cap back up here. Wait, how bring? Oh, okay, Cap.
Hey, am I unmuted
Now,
now?
Cap.
Am I
Yeah, you
unmuted
unmuted. Now, Cap,
what
since you
said
just
was gonna
seen,
hold on. What you said you was gonna do when you played the first scene, I
Yep.
said play the whole thing. You said I'll play the whole thing, but you stopped it to showboat. and that was
No, no, no,
dishonest.
no,
Yes,
no,
you
no, no,
did.
no.
I said,
It's all about this.
play the whole
Cap,
thing when I
let's not
talked
even
about.
go on. You just said,
Brother,
Cap.
no.
And
What I don't
I'll
like.
go
Listen,
all
I
the way
don't
back to
listen.
the
If I
beginning,
said
Cap.
it, I said it. I don't mind that I said it, but I
Okay,
asked
so
you.
are you going to concede that free will and choice is attached?
I'm gonna say the same thing I said before, but I don't like that you was dishonest. I asked if you would play the whole thing so that the people can get the context of what I'm talking about.
No, no,
Because
no. I already
I
played
don't
it
know
all.
why I got
I
it. With
played
all
both
this
of them.
video playing, with all the
I played
videos
you
that you
speak out of
played,
one
and all
side of
the
your
talking
mouth,
that
and
you
then you
did,
speak out
I
another
should
side
be
of your
able to
mouth, which
speak.
is a lie.
I should be able to speak. I'm not lying. I didn't think I
You
said it.
did lie.
I did not, because the context of free will and the context of choice and what we're talking about are different things.
Okay, if
Let me
it is,
finish.
then explain how it's different.
I'm gonna tell you
Explain
how
how
it's
it's different.
different. The
Go ahead.
subject is, does God give free will? No. But did I have free will when I brought up the butters? Yes. And that's a choice.
Oh,
Wait,
that's choice. Yo,
once
now he's
again,
just moving the goalpost even
I'm
further.
not
But
moving
guess
the
what?
goalpost,
This is
because if you would
proving
have
my
played,
point even
if you
more.
would have played,
If
are
you
you
have
muting
the
me right
free
now?
choice to
Are
go
you
ahead and
being
get butter,
dishonest?
then
If you
God
would
gave
have
it to you
played,
because we
if
was
you
created
would
in
have
God's
played
image.
the whole, if you would have played the whole thing like I asked you to, and that's why you laughing, because if you would
No,
have
man,
played the whole
it
thing
ain't
like
looking good for you out here in these streets.
if you would have simply played the whole
I
thing
played
like
it
I
all. I
asked
played
you
both
to,
parts when you
no, you did
contradicted
not.
yourself.
You lied. You was dishonest to me. At least
No,
I
that's
can
a
say,
lie.
here's
Cap.
the difference between you and I. You
Yeah.
played that, and
Yeah.
I said, before you played it, I said,
Uh-huh.
play the whole thing when I
I
talked
played
about
the
the
whole
butters.
thing up
And you
until
said,
you said it.
but I asked you to
Because you
play.
just said something different out of
Again,
your mouth.
once again, this is why I said you're being dishonest. I
Okay.
didn't
Well,
have
I'm
a
gonna just
problem.
ask you the
Why?
questions
No,
again.
no,
I'm not
no,
gonna make you
no,
run.
no, no.
We're gonna do it all again. That's
I
your
just
time.
want to make my statement.
Go
I
ahead.
asked you to play the whole thing, because when I talked about free will being a choice, I said I made the choice to either go do the butters or not. That was the whole context of what I said. I never said free will is not a choice. What I'm saying is God doesn't give free will. So either we're talking about God or we're talking about us. You have to make the decision. So on the subject of free will and God, no, God does not give free will. On the subject of, can I get up and make the choice or free will to go and make my butters? Yes, I can. There is no consequence for it. It's
There's
just that
no
deep. But
there's
don't.
no consequences for you getting up to make the butter. What
No,
if while you're making the
no,
butter you burn your hand? What if
no.
while you're making the butter,
What are you talking
something
about?
from the ceiling drips in it, and then you eat that, and
What's
then you put
happening
that
now,
butter
and so
on you, and you
what
break
I'll make
out?
sure I
There's
do for
always
my listening
consequence for
audience
every
is, for
action.
my
There
listening
is a
audience, can y'all
reaction.
find
Cap,
that minute
what are you
marker
talking
for me
about? For every
and
choice
send
you
that
make,
to me?
there's a
Because
reaction to
I'll
something,
find that
Cap.
minute marker and play it. Since Fugazi want to be
No,
dishonest
Cap,
and
Cap.
not play
No
the
one's
whole
being
set,
dishonest, Cap.
I did not. If
Totally fine.
here's how I would be dishonest. I would
Let's.
be dishonest if you
I got a
played
question
that.
for you, real
Hold on
quick.
one
You
second. I
explained
just
all of
want
that.
to talk about me.
You
No,
explained.
I'm
I
gonna
let
say
you talk.
one more
You
thing.
totally
I'm
explained. I
gonna
let you
say
speak. I got a question for
one
you
more thing,
because it's
and
about to
then you can ask
contradict your
your
entire
question.
worldview.
I'm gonna
I
say
literally
one
wanted
more
this to
thing,
happen.
and then you
Cap,
can ask
Cap.
your
I
question.
got
I'm
a
actually
question for you,
muted.
bro.
Wait, before you do that,
You're not muted. I'm not muting
no,
you.
no problem. Here's how I would be dishonest. If you played that clip and then I'm still fighting you saying, no, I didn't say it, I would be dishonest. But I knew what I said before you played the clip.
But
And
you said that you said something
all I
else.
asked, I did. I still say I said something else. But that's why
You
I asked.
lied, Cap.
No, this is where you're dishonest. This is where you're
Okay,
dishonest.
continue to gaslight. I'll let you get it all
This is
out, and then I'll go. Go ahead.
Thank you. This is where you're being dishonest, because when you said you was gonna play the clip, I said just play up, just keep playing it. Where I used the butters as the example to explain
You
what I
never
was
said
talking
use the
about.
butters
Yes,
as
I
an
did.
example. What you
And you
talking about?
said I'll
No.
play. You said I'll play it all, and
But
you did not play
either
it
way,
all.
either way, it's a full contradiction to your worldview, and either way, you lied. So I'm going to explain. Are you done? Do I have the floor? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Okay, so what I just witnessed here was a gaslighter. He's a professional gaslighter. God dang, nigga, you better than some of them. Nah, you my homie. I ain't gonna talk about you like that, though. But you are definitely gaslighting. I'm gonna say that. No ad hominems. Is gaslighting an ad hominem? I don't know if it is. I don't think it is.
When you start saying I'm gaslighting because I'm holding
You think
you
it's an ad hominem?
I don't care if it's an ad hominem or not, but what you're
I don't
not
think it
going to
is.
do
I don't
is
think
tell
it is.
me I'm doing something that you said you was going to do. You said you was
Wait,
going to
what?
play the whole thing. It's not gaslighting to hold you to playing the whole thing. You were
Yo,
dishonest.
no, I wasn't dishonest at
Did
all.
you
What
say
are you
you was
talking
going to play?
about?
Did you
This
say you
is
was going to play the whole thing? Yes or
yo,
no?
Cap.
I'm just
You
asking for
you
yes or
like
no.
you
I
like
just
this
want it
like
on record. Did you
Cap.
say you was going to play the whole thing? Yes or no?
Cap, real
Yes
quick.
or no?
Cap, real
You can
quick.
talk. I will be
Yeah,
quiet.
I got it. Yeah, I got it,
Okay,
Cap.
so now,
Real quick,
no.
real
It
quick,
won't be
Cap.
no
Yeah,
real quick until you give me a yes or
no,
no. Did you
no, Cap,
say
real
that
quick,
you
real quick.
did you say you
I
was gonna
gave you
play
the
the
floor,
whole
and now you asking me a question when it was my turn to speak. I'll let you get it all out,
all I
bro. Come
want
on
is
now.
a yes or no.
We gotta
You
have.
brought up
We
the
gotta
whole
have. No,
you
listen.
said you
We gotta
accused
have
me
some
of
decorum, real
but
quick.
just don't tell me I'm
Cap,
gaslighting you.
Cap, can we
You said
establish some decorum where I'll let you
okay.
speak,
Thank you.
interrupt,
I will let you
uninterrupted,
speak
but every time I
uninterrupted
speak, then you asking me questions.
if you just give me
Got
a
it.
yes
So
or
no,
no.
no, no,
If
no,
you,
no,
all I
no.
want is a
I
yes
need
or
to.
no.
That's
And
not
then I,
decorum, man.
that is
That isn't
decorum.
any
That's
decorum
how we
because
come to an
I'll let
agreement.
you
How we
speak
come to
uninterrupted.
you
I'll
did
let you
not.
speak uninterrupted.
You did not. The whole
I'll
time
let you speak uninterrupted, and
when
you
you
didn't ask
explain
any
here's
questions. You
what you
actually
did.
explained yourself, Cap.
Here's what you did. Even when you played the clip, I was muted and I'm
You
asking you
going
why
back
you
to now you get to explain yourself more. Let me. I
you get
literally
to
let
tell
you
me I'm
speak.
gaslighting you. I'm not gaslighting you. That's
Okay,
the term you use.
Cap, you being triggered right now because
I'm
I
not
said
triggered at all.
gaslighting.
I don't
So,
like when people put out a false narrative about me. That's not triggering. And so
oh,
you're not
so
going to tell me that I'm
listen.
gaslighting you when you said you was going to do something.
If you think that way, do I have the floor? Yes or no?
Can I get it after? Let's say if I
I
give it,
just want I want
I'm a,
1 minute and I'll answer any questions you want.
no problem. You got it.
Yeah, let me get like a minute and a half, minute. I'll take a minute. I only need a minute. So, anyways, this is what happened, chat. So, currently, right now, what he's trying to do is he's trying to move the goalposts. You know, like when women, like if you catch a chick, cheating, like if you look in a girl's phone and you catch her cheating, like you see some text messages, and instead of speaking about what you found in the text messages about her talking to another guy, she's like, "Oh, you going in my phone? So you're going in my phone now?" But that defeats the point of what I found in your phone. I went back, and what we found out was that you lied. You contradicted yourself. Not even contradicted. You lied. You said one thing out of one side of your mouth, but then currently you were saying another thing. And then in the beginning of the podcast, you were saying something totally different. So you've been contradicting yourself. Let's speak about the evidence of what we found. Don't be like one of the chicks that be like, "Oh, why are you going through my phone?" No, let's talk about that nigga that you went out on a date with that I'm scrolling through it. So we go reviewing the evidence. So real quick, you said that in the beginning of the podcast that free will and choice is not attached. It's different. I said, okay, you even gave a definition of free will. You said free will has to have consequences. I said, well, Cap, any choices that you make have consequences. That's just a fact. Like any choice that you make, any action that you take is going to have a reaction. That's how the world works, right? So now you're saying something different. You said that you use an example of getting the butter. Well, I can get the butter. I was speaking about that free will. Well, guess what, Cap? That's still it can still be consequences on you. Actually, not. It is not that it could be. It is consequences on you making butter. The butter is made. You get to sell the butter. You get to put the butter on your skin, and that's an effect there. Or something can drip in the butter and poison your skin, and you can break out in a rash. There's a million different things of consequences that happens after you make that choice. So therefore, you cannot demonstrate. Back to my original question, and I want you to answer it. Please demonstrate. Right? How you can, or concede to it. Concede to it. Please demonstrate how you can have free will void of choice. If you cannot demonstrate that, concede to it, and that ends the debate because everything in the Bible appeals to choice, which is free will. Everything in the Bible appeals to choice, which is free will. This debate is done. Please explain to me how you
can do that.
Free will.
Before you do that, you said you was going to take a minute.
Okay.
I just want to play something because remember you said that you didn't say you was going to play the whole thing. I just want to
No
play
one
something.
said that I wasn't gonna play the whole thing.
Yeah,
What
but
is
you
the whole
didn't.
thing?
Wait, but
No,
you
what
no
is the
no
whole
don't
thing?
interrupt me.
I
You
said,
just
yeah,
said,
I'll play it.
"Can I get the floor?" And I'm gonna give you the floor. You said you only
No, no,
wanted a
no.
minute. I
No one said.
gave you the
Okay.
floor. You
No,
said you
no.
would
Now you
answer any
gaslighting
question.
again.
You
No
said
one
that you
said
would
I'm
answer
going to
any
play up
questions.
until some
You
point. I said,
said
yeah, go.
I
Yeah,
would
I'll play
answer
it.
any questions
But I still
afterwards.
disprove
I just want to
everything you just
prove
said.
because
You
you
like one of
accused
them
me
chicks, bro.
now.
You like
No,
one of them chicks
actually,
that
you are.
was to
You asked me to be quiet, and I was
from the
quiet.
topic
Why
and
can't you be
literally
quiet
just
now?
say, hey, what about the
Why
evidence?
can't you
What
be
about
quiet?
this? What
You
about
just
that?
brought your evidence. I didn't have a problem. I didn't reject your evidence. So why you
You
rejecting
did.
mine?
That's what
I
we're
did
talking
not.
about
I
now.
said
Is the
play it.
evidence?
Wait, slow down.
No.
No. What you're
We're talking
doing
about
now is
concede.
being extremely emotional.
No.
You asked me
No
to
one's
stop.
being emotional at
Okay,
all.
then let me
Cat,
talk. I just
can
let
you
you
please
ramble.
concede?
I
I have a
just let you.
question.
I just
No,
let you
let's get
ramble.
back to the topic of
You
discussion.
just
Don't
said
run
if I
away.
be
Don't run
quiet,
away.
I don't have a
You
problem with that.
don't
It's
listen,
19
Cat.
seconds.
Don't run
It's
away.
19 seconds. It's
Totally
19
fine.
seconds.
Don't
Then
run
let me
away from
play it.
this.
Then let me play it. Let me
How
play
do
it.
you? No,
Let me
listen.
play it.
How do you, Cap? How do you? Cap, you muted. You muted. Don't even matter. You muted anyway.
My audience
You're not
hears it
running
though.
away from this. Don't run away from this. How do you? Please tell me how can you do this? How do you demonstrate free will void of
So my
choice?
audience, y'all
If you
clearly
can't
heard him
demonstrate free
say
will void of
that he
choice,
would play.
then guess
Y'all
what?
clearly
This
heard him
debate is
say
over
that
because
he
we
would
do
do
have
that.
free will.
And then what
Because
he
free will
did
is
was,
attached to
hold on one
choice.
second. I almost want to
That's
start
what's
saying.
happening, Cap.
So
That's
now
what's
we're
happening.
getting to
Free
the
will
phase.
is
Now,
attached to
am I
choice,
still
man.
muted? Am I still muted?
Free,
Because
but
now we're
answer
getting
the
now we're
question.
getting to the phase of where you got to
Answer.
mute. That's how you
No,
know
no,
people are in
because
their
you keep
feelings.
moving the goalposts.
I did
You're
not
one,
move
you
the
lied.
goalpost.
You lied. You've been caught in your lies, and you're still trying to move. I'm not making. Listen, I gave you the floor to speak, and you were speaking. No more lies. This podcast calls
No problem.
Nofugazy.
No
We're
problem.
not
And
tolerating any lies over here.
what I did was
We don't tolerate any lies.
once
Let's get
again
back to the point of the
what I
debate.
said. Am I gonna
We're
still be
having a meta
muted?
conversation,
No.
which is a conversation about the
What you're
conversation.
trying to do
Let's get
is
back to your
control the
defeat.
narrative, but you
No,
can't
let's get back to
control the
your defeat.
narrative. You
Let's
can't.
get back to your defeat. The
You've
question
been
is,
getting beat
can
all
you
day.
please
That's why you're
explain
in your
or
feelings.
demonstrate?
And that's why you didn't
No,
want to
not at
play it
all.
because
Cap,
you play
can you
games.
please
When you say no
explain?
fugazi, you were
No, Cap,
fugazi
can you
because
please
you was
explain and
dishonest to somebody
demonstrate?
you said was a
Can you
brother
please
because he ain't a
explain
brother.
and demonstrate
Mhm,
how free will is
mhm,
detached from choice?
mhm.
The floor is yours. Please explain that.
Free will is detached from choice on the subject is does God give us free will? It's that damn simple. I said
Okay.
that from the beginning. God does not give free will. That's the subject. But when I said what I said
Does God
was,
give us
now
choice?
I'm being interrupted again. Like
Does
which
God
one
give
is
us
it?
choice?
Which one is it? Are you
You
giving
said free will
choice
is
the
attached
answer?
from choice.
Or
You said free will
look
is
at
attached
you
from
and your feelings.
God give us free will
You just
because
said I
God
want
doesn't
to
give us
get
free
back
will.
to the subject.
The question
You
is,
just
does
said
God give us
you
choice?
just said I want to get back to the
It's a
subject,
paradox, bro.
and then you
It's a
asked me
paradox.
a
You're not
question,
getting.
and
I'm
then
asking you
now you're
another question.
interrupting me again.
I'm asking you another
Answering the
question.
question. No,
Does
I'm not
God give us
finished answering.
choice?
I'm not finished answering the first one. So you
Does God
want me
give us
to
choice?
reset? You didn't want me to talk about how you lie. You want me to answer your
No,
question.
no, no,
So
no.
now I'm
You
going to
lied,
answer
and
your
you've been trying
question.
to
Why are
gaslight
you
the entire
interrupting?
time.
But why are
You
you
have, you
interrupting?
have,
I went to answer
you
your
have.
question. I didn't bring up nothing. And as I'm answering the question, you interrupt again. Who's
Got it.
emotional?
So real quick,
Let me finish. So let me
Let's
finish.
just
No, ain't no real
let's
quick.
we gonna
Let
make
me
some
finish
decorum. I gotta
answering.
mute you
Let me
because
Did
everything
you
is
mute
going
me?
off. Listen,
If
real
you
quick,
mute
just
me
I'm just
again, I'm
repeating
just
back
not
what
gonna
happened.
stay on the live.
I asked you a
If you
question.
mute me again, I'm not
Can
gonna
you
stay on the live.
can
And I
free
think
will be
that's what you're trying
detached?
to do. I want everybody to understand. I'm gonna stop sharing for a second. I want everybody to understand what this guy is doing by doing this muting stuff. What he wants is for me to leave. What he wants me to do is to leave the live stream so that he can say Pat left because he couldn't handle the conversation. That's what he wants. The whole reason why he's muting me is because it is decorum. I was the one talking. You interrupted me in my answer. You don't control this narrative. You and I have been having a back and forth. You and I have been having a back and forth this whole entire time, interrupting each other. It's only now because you know you didn't do what you said that you're doing all this muting. No, you did not. You have never muted me. When when you played the recording, I'm gonna ask you a question. When you no, it's not. I have not. I have not. I didn't even fight when you replayed the audio. I didn't even fight it. All I asked was why you didn't play the whole thing. No, I did not. No, I did not. I did not. No, I did not. No, I did not. No, I did not. Now, did you just put me down? But what I'm seeing now. What I'm seeing now. So I was in the middle of answering. I was in the middle of answering the question. Mm, 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 mm.
Void of choice. Please answer.
I when you see what here's what's happening now.
Bro, just answer the question.
Why can't I answer it my way? Like you and your feelings. I got to talk how you want me to talk.
You're going back and forth. You're trying to run away, man. Listen, man, you're trying to run away.
How am I running away? I said 3 words and you said answer the question. All I said was 3 words.
You said, listen, this was
All
happening.
I said was
answer the question. Let's get back to the debate.
I can answer how I feel. Like, why are you in your feelings? It was 3
no
words.
No one's in their feelings, bro. No one's in their feelings.
I said, then let me speak uninterruptedly. So now,
okay. So okay. Let's now you're going to talk uninterruptedly.
Now you're talking.
I'll let you speak uninterruptedly. Let's just agree to something. Let's reason with one another, Cap.
No, let me talk without. That's the reasoning. When you
let's reason with one another, not Cap.
When you asked to speak uninterrupted, I let you talk. I didn't say nothing.
No, you cut me off actually, Cap.
I was cutting you off, but then you said let me speak, and you said you can ask me a yes and any questions you want after I speak, and then I got quiet and let you talk. Then you
I asked you a question.
And as I'm answering the question, you interrupt in the question in my answer. Just like now when you asked the question, I said 3 words and you interrupt.
Because you're not answering the question. It's not getting anywhere.
Nobody can know what anybody's saying in 3 words. Now, when you're emotional, though, you interrupt.
No, you can easily say, you can easily go to your answer. You can easily go to your answer. Okay, cool. So look, I'll actually let you answer however you want to answer real quick, and I'll give you 1 minute. I'll put a timer.
I don't want a timer. I don't want no timer.
No, we're gonna do a 1 minute timer for some decorum.
We didn't have a timer.
We're gonna do a 1 minute timer. It's totally fine. I think we need a timer because there's lack of decorum here.
You the only one don't have decorum.
So, got it. Look, I'm gonna put a 1 minute timer. And my question is,
does the
I'm gonna do a 1 minute timer. Listen, I'm doing a 1 minute timer. 1 minute timer.
Does the 1 minute timer go both ways?
Cap, listen. Yeah, the 1 minute timer go both ways. I got you muted because you still speaking while I'm trying to give instruction. I'm gonna do a 1 minute timer, and you're gonna answer the question. After 1 minute, then it's my turn to speak because I'm gonna most likely have another question for you because it's gonna be a contradiction. What just happened before. So here it goes now. Here's my question. My question is,
I'm gonna tell him.
How can you have free will?
Mute my mic again. I'm leaving.
Void of choice, and you are unmuted.
If you mute my mic again,
timer starts right now. Timer starts right now.
No, don't start it yet. If you mute my mic again, I'm not doing this live.
Timer starts now.
Can you repeat your question?
Okay. Once again, how can you have free will? Void of choice. Good? Timer starts now.
The definition of free will, as I stated earlier, is that the definition says the ability to make choices and act independently without being controlled by external forces. Even when I read the definition, it adhered to a choice. The subject of this debate is, does God give free will? And he does not. Because in the definition, it says without being controlled by an external force. So if God is the external force and told us to obey his laws or we get punished, then that's not free will by the definition. Now it's my turn to ask a question. I'm done. It's my turn to ask a question. I'm done.
Okay, perfect. So now I'm responding to what you said.
No, it's my turn.
I told you. No, now you add. I literally just said that. Oh, Cap. Now you being disingenuous. I literally just said that. I'm going to ask the question, and after you're done speaking, you get a minute. Then it's my turn to speak because I have another question for you. Did I not say that?
You said I get a minute. Is that minute to ask you a question?
No, I said that you get a full time to speak. You get a minute to speak.
And then after that, don't I get to ask you a question?
Let's just play it back to what we agreed to.
I don't want to play it back. You could just tell me right now. I will adhere to. Just say it right now. I don't need to go back.
Okay, all right, cool. If we don't once, I'm going to go ahead and reply to your statement. And I have another question because there's a
No, you
contradiction
can't do
within your
that.
statement.
See, what you're trying to do is
I already
have a
said that.
reply.
That's what
So
happened.
if you can have a reply to the statement, but after your reply, I get to ask. We got to go question for question, reply for reply. That's
No,
fair. That's
but
fair.
Cap,
I'm not
understand that.
taking another question. I'll take your reply. That's
Okay,
fair. You can get a
understand that.
minute reply. Listen.
Got it.
Okay,
Okay.
then. And after your minute reply, I get to ask a question. We go question for question.
Understand that that you have to defend your point.
We both defending our points.
No,
I'm
because what
attacking you
you
with
have
free will. You
the
attacking me for
question,
free will. So you
Cap,
ask the
the
question.
question
There's
is you
no, there's
defending this
no
point,
debate.
which is a
There's
contradiction.
no debate that anybody has.
Okay,
And
so
I've been
let me
doing it for
reply back
15
to
years.
what you said.
And
I'll
then
put
I'm
a minute
asking a
on my.
question
I'll put
after
a
that.
minute on the timer.
And I'm asking a
Just chill
question
real
after
quick.
that. No
Chill
problem.
real quick. I'll put a minute on the timer real quick, because he's about to get obliterated. Very very easy. Here's a minute on it. Here's a minute on. Okay, so he said that. Well, free will is void of choice because in the definition of choice, it's appealing to it's you have to comply, not with have to comply, but it's appealing to without an external force. He said God is the external force, so we do not have any choice because God is the external force. I'm sorry, we do not have any free will because we do. That's what you said. Wait, you didn't say that. You didn't just say that. Cat, you can speak now. It's a
This your
question.
time.
I'll just no.
This is your time.
It's okay.
When you
It's a
did them
question.
gestures, I
Chicken.
didn't say stop time. So my gesture
What you talking
didn't
about?
stop their time.
I'm asking you a question. I don't care if we can stop time. My question is very simple
I
for
don't
you,
want
right?
to. I don't
So
want to
did you not,
respond to no questions. I want to ask my question after your time is up. That's
real quick?
fair. You're trying to
Did
wiggle
you
away to
not?
ask me another question. I'm not answering no question.
Okay. All right.
This is
Cool.
your
So
reply.
now what we'll do
This
is
is your reply.
I'll just rewind it. I'll just rewind it back and I'll play it from what you said.
This is childish
No,
because this is
it's
your
not.
reply.
No, bro,
This is
I'm
your
literally
reply.
debating a like a
This is your
habituary liar.
reply.
They're like you lying so much.
I didn't say anything just now. I didn't say nothing. I just nodded my head. I just did like this.
No,
And
you
you
shook your
chose to
head and
stop
said
the
no.
time.
And I asked you, is that not what you said? Yes or no?
You cleaned up what I said. When I nodded my head, that was because you said something I didn't say, and then you cleaned up yourself and then said what I said. All you're doing
Okay, so
now,
what?
this is very effeminate. What you're doing
So
right now.
got it. So then I cleaned up what you said. Okay, fair enough.
This
Fair
is
enough. Fair enough.
extremely effeminate right now.
Fair enough. I'll finish in my last. What I got? When did I stop that? It was 30 something seconds on the clock. So I got 30 seconds
Right
left.
here.
I'll put 30 seconds on. I'll do 30 seconds. Cool. So, anyways, Cap says that, well, God is the external force, and God, within this, he doesn't give us free will. He never disproved that free will is attached from choice. The statement is free will is attached from choice. I'm asking him to disprove it. You know why free will is attached from choice? Is because every choice we make, every single choice that we make, the fact that we have a choice, God judges us for it. Why would God tell us not to do, not to sin? Okay, 30 seconds. Why would God, I'll just finish over real quick, my last little sentence. Why would God tell us not to sin, but then judges us for sinning? Because we have the choice to sin or to not to sin. Free will is attached to choice. Try to detach it. You can't. Go ahead.
My question to you is Deuteronomy 30 and 5 that we've been talking about in Deuteronomy, the 30th chapter that we've been talking about all day, when it says, I've set before thee this day. Well, I'm going to make a statement and then I'm going to ask the question based on the definition of free will. So I'm going to say it differently. Deuteronomy 30 and 19, I call heaven and earth to record this day to you, that I've set before you life and death, blessing and cursing. Therefore choose life, that thou mayest live. And then when we read the definition of free will, and free will clearly says the ability to make a choice and act independently without being controlled by an external force, which anybody listening will explain, will know why I separated the choice from free will. Based on that, Is God an external force? Yes or no? And if the answer is that it's yes, he is an external force, how is that free will? That's my question.
Got it. That's a very, very thank you for that question,
You
actually.
got a minute.
So, I mean,
We got a minute. That's the
I'll put a
rules.
minute on the clock. Let's put it right now, man.
Clock up.
That's an
And then I
easy.
got to reply.
That's an easy answer. So how? Just to repeat it back
I
to make
can't
sure I
see
have
the
it right.
timer.
Okay. Let's just start it all over then, since you can't see the timer. Boom, right here. So, God and choice, God giving us choice and things of that nature, just the fact that we can make a choice to disobey God is free will. So you said that, well,
You're not answering my
God is an
question.
external force. Yes, God is an external force. So how do we have choice? How can we make a choice if God is an external force? How can we have free will if God is an external force, right? We can choose to obey God or we can choose to disobey God. All the sinners, all the non-believers, all the people that believe in God, they're still making a choice without this external force. Do you get it? There's people, there's atheists, they don't believe in God. They're making a choice not to believe in God. There are people that believe in God. They're making a choice to obey God or to disobey God. This is a choice which is attached to free will.
So
That's 1 minute. Go ahead.
my reply. This is how you know he's hurt. I mean, but hurt. Because the definition of free will, once he admitted that God is an external force, he lost. Because God being an external force means it's not free will, because free will is a choice that's independent of external force. That's the
It's
end of this debate. Don't
no, it's
interrupt me. Don't
compelled.
interrupt me.
You're a
It's my
liar.
reply.
You're a liar.
It's
You're
my
reading it
reply.
wrong.
It's my
No,
reply. Why I got to get
you're
interrupted in my reply? I told you, effeminate, like
no,
emotional.
no, it's feminine. What are you
Okay, then
talking
why you
about? You just
interrupted in
lied.
my why
We're
you
having a
why
back and
no, we're
forth.
not. I'm supposed
Free
to have a
will.
minute. I'm
No,
supposed to have
free
a
will.
minute reply.
No,
No,
stop
no,
it there.
no,
You just
no.
lied.
Once
Free
again,
will is the
now I
ability
get
to make
interrupted
choices
again because
without
you
being
are
compelled by outside
you are
influences. So let
effeminate.
me just
Why
share
you
my screen
interrupted
real
in my
quick so
reply?
you guys can
No,
read the definition of
I
free
told
will
y'all she
too,
muted
so
my
you can
mic.
see
I
that
would
this
leave.
guy is a liar. He keeps on lying. I don't know why he keeps lying, but he keeps on lying.
Hey, I left his room. The reason why I left his room, as y'all can see, if I blow this up and make this big, y'all can see he muted my mic again. I'm not going through the whole muting of the mics or anything like that. I'm not doing that. What I will take the opportunity to share, though, let me stop sharing my screen here. What I will take the opportunity to share is my screen. This is what I was looking for, I believe. Hold on. Let me make sure this is it. Bear with me 1 second, y'all. I just want to play it. Let me see. I think this is it.
Of the podcast.
Right.
Then literally just 5 minutes ago, we can rewind the tape. Matter of fact, I'll rewind it for you and show you because I do this live on people all the time. I'm a great listener and I have amazing active listening skills. I'm going to rewind it live on the podcast so you can see. The audience already sees
Just
it,
make
but
sure you play all of
so
what
you
I
can
said.
see. Oh
I
yeah,
know
I'm
what
going
I
to play
said.
it.
Just
Yeah,
make
I'm
sure
going to
you
play
play
real
all
quick.
of it. Now, see how you said, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna play it," because what I said, the only thing I wasn't able to find was when I said the choice. If I have the choice whether I go make the butter or not. So what I will do is I'll find it probably after this live stream is over, and then just show that. I think anybody can clearly see, like I was saying earlier, what Cooley does with the whole moving me down, muting and stuff like that. And people say, Cap, you got to act a certain way. That's not, it reminds me of when, and I wish people, I've been doing this about 15 years now, right? I've been doing debates for about 15 years. Hold on, let me move this over a little bit now. And I'm on it now. So I've been doing this about 15 years for those that don't know. The scriptures say be seasoned with salt. 2 hours and 43 is the minute marker. Shout out to Trip the Ghost. The two. Now I don't know how. The only thing I don't know how is how would I find the 2 hour and 43 minute marker. But Trip the Ghost, shout out to you for putting that minute marker in there because what threw me off the detached from choice. I didn't think I said that. That's no big deal. But when he brought up the free will as a choice, I clearly said, even if you go to the back and forth that we had on the definition of free will, it says free will is the choice. So the argument was never about, do we have a choice? The argument was, does God give us free will? Now, to my audience, I notice that when I have dialogues with people, whether it be like a whack, a God Logic, a polite, a Sinetta, or this, everybody wants me to act the same way, and I don't act the same way. And you know why I didn't act the way where y'all want me to argue and stuff like that? Because the whole time I'm watching Cooley's live stream, and I'm looking at Cooley's chat. And as I'm looking at Cooley's chat, the people in the chat are on my side. They're not on his side. And I think the Most High that he put me in this position, because you cannot go into rooms and just argue with everybody just for the sake of arguing. You have to make sense at what you're arguing about. And when it gets to the point that he got to, so now y'all remember in the car, so in the car chronicles I had, I'm gonna see if I can find this video. So I want to show y'all examples. So I already played the example with that sister that was rude. There was a car chronicles I had today. And when I had the car chronicles today, the brother was questioning Paul, is what he was questioning, right? So as he's questioning Paul, I'm gonna see if I can find this minute marker. Bear with me 1 second, y'all. I'm gonna share my screen. I'm gonna share. So now, if
So
y'all
I
look
just
at
want
the
to get.
title of this video, the title of this video says, Bug Out Israelite says we can't read Mark, Luke, or John after he gets destroyed. And so I want to try to skip up so I can get to the part that I'm talking about. Hold on, let me see.
Mark, Luke, or John when Yeshua was talking. Matthew is the only one that wrote an account, and Matthew
Look,
is
that's the
Matthew
Lord,
is
but I
supposed to be
found
the
it right
only
there. So
version
now,
that
Saying what
no,
Jesus,
we have
saying Christ said.
I
the
want to
text.
Okay, I never
Stop
said.
saying somebody else.
so now, if anybody watched that tape, this tape that I'm showing right here, in this particular battle, the guy was telling me that Paul is the only one talked about grace. Christ didn't talk about grace. I read for him John 1 and 17. And in John 1 and 17, John 1 and 17 said, for the law of Moses was, excuse me, for the law was given by Moses, but grace by truth came by Christ. Now I want to see if I can find that, and I want to see what he says. Hold on 1 second, y'all.
According to history, correct.
Look. When he
Hold on one
talk
second.
about John the Baptist, I'm talking. Was John a disciple teach grace? Only Paul taught grace. I
need to see where
did.
Jesus said what
First
you
of all,
said that.
Now,
first of all,
I want y'all to listen to this, and then you're going to see him act just like, let me put myself on the camera too so y'all can see me. Let me start. So y'all going to see him. I'm sorry, I did this wrong. How do I do this to where I could be on the screen? There we go. So y'all going to see him act just like Cooley. I'm going to play it. Watch this.
First of all, I'm going to do a brief I'm going to do a brief recap. You said Christ didn't teach grace. Only Paul taught grace. I read John 1 and 17 where it says Christ gave grace. I just did that first.
You didn't show me that Christ said that. I'm saying, show me where Christ said that out of his own mouth.
He said, when I said that Christ taught grace, he said I didn't show that out of Christ's own mouth. Watch the response.
Was John a disciple of Christ?
What?
Was John a disciple of Christ?
Was John? Is that John the Elder? You talking about John the Elder?
Was John a disciple? I'm not talking about John the Baptist. I'm talking about John, the book of John. Was John a disciple of Christ?
According to history, correct.
Look. When men start saying according to history, it's because they stuff getting cut. So John was
No,
a
it's
disciple.
not. I just asked to show me. I just asked you to show me out of Jesus' mouth. Why we can't see that in Jesus' mouth, but we see it in somebody saying that Jesus said it.
So
we don't see that come out of Jesus' mouth or Moses' mouth.
Now, he's saying we don't see this out of Jesus' mouth and Moses' mouth. Now, he started sounding with confidence, the same confidence Cooley had. But as the debates go further, and this is why I'm surgical with it, as the debates go further, it's very easy to dissect them and then use what he does against them. So when y'all go back and play back, and just the best part of that battle was when we battled over the definition of free will. Because free will means a choice free of external influence. God is external. He couldn't get around that. There was nothing that he could have done that could have gotten him around that. What time is it? 10:54? 10:54. Should I put the link for people to, I don't know, because it might go left field if I
as you repeated what I said Christ taught the same thing. And John, and I'm giving the example.
Show me that Jesus said that then. How could he taught that?
I never said,
I'm
not going to use, why are you only saying Matthew? I can't use no other text.
Watch. No other text. Remember, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John rode with Christ. He about to get rid of the book of Luke, the book of Mark, and the book of John, because John said grace. Wait. The extended clips say, "Why make us suffer?" Listen, man, I don't know what that means. Why make us suffer?
Text.
Wait, I'm gonna show you. If y'all go, if anybody go and watch his channel, y'all are like, to the people that have joined me today. For the most part, all of y'all subscribe to me. I love y'all to death. Do everything for y'all. So y'all will predominantly be on my side. When the brother says, "Why make us suffer?" If you go look at his side and see how I'm winning on his side. Like when people say, get a neutral platform, don't go on his platform and stuff like that, that's cap to me. Let me put myself on the screen for a second. Let me tell y'all something, man. Let me tell you a little bit about me. Y'all may not know this about me, but me, oh, Jesus Christ. Hello, let me do like this. Let me hide this. There we go. So me personally, just me, I don't like home games as much as I like away games. I like to go on a person's platform where they'll kick me down, where they'll mute me, where they'll do all those things to me because I'm whooping their ass. Maybe that's not something that y'all can handle, because y'all, what it sounds like y'all want is y'all want everything to be nice and lovely and beautiful. If I was to go even further, his live stream only had about maximum 5. Right now, he got that's not him. Where's Cooley's channel at? I'm gonna tell you another thing about these away games. So if I go on Cooley's channel right now, he got 289,000 subscribers. I only got 24 lowly subscribers. I'm even beating him on the lives. Y'all support me more than they support him. 289,000 subscribers, and he only got 514 people watching. So go look on his live. I'm not fishing y'all. Y'all are already here. I'm fishing them. So if I make Cooley come over here, then I'm not fishing his people. If I don't go into Clubhouse and go on those stages, what are we talking about here? Y'all disappoint me sometimes. Y'all been rocking with me this long. Y'all should know exactly why I do what I do. And then Emilion made an excellent point. They started to come over to your channel. Excellent point. I want to play some more. Watch this.
But show me where Jesus said out his own mouth in any other text.
Okay, I never said.
Saying somebody else. You're saying somebody else said that.
I'm gonna pause this for a second. My nigga Nashak, Nashak is guaranteeing that he about to get a free God tier in Baccarat oil. That's what he doing. Let me see something real fast. Let me see something. Hold on 1 second. Let me see if I can send this to myself. Bear with me 1 second, y'all. Upload. Let's see if I can upload this and see if this is it. So now I'm gonna finish playing this while I want y'all to listen to this good, because this is hold on, let me see something here. Let me see this here. Boom. I'll put this back on the screen. I want y'all to listen to what this caller does.
Everything that we read about Christ is what somebody is saying Christ said. What are you talking about? Matthew is not Jesus. Mark is not Jesus. Luke is not Jesus. And neither is John. They're all saying what
No,
Jesus.
we have scriptures where there's we have
scriptures that
talking and saying things.
Right, and the person
Matthew is supposed to be the only version that is supposed to be the only person that had a written account of Yeshua. They only carried around the Gospel of Matthew. There was no Mark. Okay. There was no Mark, Luke, or John when Yeshua was talking. Matthew was the only one that wrote an account in Hebrew of Jesus, and this can be taught by the church fathers. So we don't see this in Matthew and nowhere else. I need you to show me, did Moses teach this or did Jesus teach this? We don't see this nowhere in the law.
Hey, brother.
I'm sorry. So y'all see that brother got rid of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, but I want to play this to see. Hold on. Is this it right here? Let me see if this is it. Let me see if this is it. Hold on 1 second. I think this is it. No, this ain't it. Hold up. I uploaded it. It just didn't upload yet. I'm just waiting to see if. Let me make sure I uploaded it. Hold on. Oh, I'm sorry. It's still uploading. So I'm waiting for it to upload. When it uploaded to play, and what I wanted him to play, if he was an honest man, he would have played me saying, can y'all hear me now? Yeah, I think y'all should be able to hear me. If he was an honest man, he would have just played it. The reason why he didn't want to play it, can y'all can hear me, right? Because I did mute myself while the audio was playing. Can y'all hear me? Give me a 1. I appreciate it. So the reason why he didn't want to play it, because he's a got you type of cat. He's a I got you here, got you there, and that's cool, but I'm gonna hold you to it. So the only time I wouldn't let him not talk, and where he got the muting, is you're not gonna tell me I didn't do something. Shout out to Emilion. He knows that about me. He knows that if you start calling me a liar or something like that, it just wasn't gonna work. And even when we reset and we did the whole minute with the reply, when I replied and cut him on his point, that's when he muted me for the last time, and I wasn't staying there for that. I was not staying there for that last time. I think I'm gonna show y'all. Let me see. I'm gonna tell y'all right when I left. Hold on. Let me see. I'm gonna show y'all why he put me down. And this gonna be it. Should I put the link in the chat? Y'all want to join the live? Anybody want to come on the live? Y'all let me know. I will open up the live stream if y'all want to go, because we got a lot of people in here. So if y'all tell me to put the link in the chat, I'll put the link in the chat. Right? Just let me know if y'all want me to put the link in the chat to join. I'll put it in some
choice.
I'm gonna play my question without being controlled.
Never disprove that free will is attached from choice. The state
you cleaned up yourself and then said what I said. All you're doing now, this is very effeminate.
Okay, so, because God is.
You could just tell me right now. I will.
Disingenuous. I literally just said that I'm gonna.
But after your reply,
what we'll do is I'll just 30 seconds on. I'll do.
We read the definition of free will. Okay, I want y'all to. And free will clearly says the ability to make a choice and act independently without being controlled by an external force, which anybody listening will explain to me, will know why I separated the choice from free will. Based on that, all right. So is God an external force? Want to join? Yes or no? The link in the chat. And if the answer is that it's yes, he is an external force, how is that free will? That's my question.
Got it. That's now, a very.
Did y'all hear the question? If God is an external, I asked him a yes or no, is God an external force? Yes or no? And if so, how is that free will? That's the question. Now watch.
Thank you for that question. Actually,
you got a minute.
So, I mean,
we got a minute. That's the rule.
A minute on the clock. Let's put it right now, man.
Put the clock
that's
up.
Easy.
And I got a reply.
That's an easy answer. So how? Just to repeat it back to make sure I have it right.
Timer.
Okay. Let's just start it all over then. Since you can't see the timer. Boom. Right here. So God. And choice, God giving us choice and things of that nature, just the fact that we can make a choice to disobey God is free will. So you said that, well, God is an external force. Yes, God is an external force. So how do we have choice? How can we make a choice if God is an external force? How can we have free will if God is an external force? Right? We can choose to obey God, or we can choose to disobey God. All the sinners, all the non-believers, all the people that believe in God, they're still making a choice without this external force. Do you get it? There's atheists, they don't believe in God. They're making a choice not to believe in God. There are people that believe in God. They're making a choice to obey God or to disobey God. This is a choice which is attached to free will.
So
that's 1 minute. Go ahead.
My reply, this is how you know he's hurt. I mean, but hurt. Because the definition of free will, once he admitted that God is an external force, he lost. Because God being an external force means it's not free will, because free will is a choice that's independent of external force. That's the end of this debate.
No,
Don't
it's
interrupt me. Don't
compelled.
interrupt
You're
me.
a liar.
That's
You're a liar. You're reading it wrong.
This is
No,
this debate right here.
Why I gotta get interrupted in my reply? I told you, effeminate, like emotional.
No, it's feminine. What are you talking about? You just lied. We're going.
That's what made him. I'm gonna come.
We're having a back and forth.
No, we're not.
Free will. No, free will. No.
Reply.
Stop it there. You just lied. Free will is the ability.
And that's why I left. This is a very easy debate by just the definition of the word. So now we got the callers on here. So I'm gonna do them in order, so to speak. So I'm gonna do. So I have everybody on the stage. I'm gonna call you as you on the stage. So we got Lemuel. You up first. Lemuel.
What's going on, Cat? You can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. What's going on?
Oh, not much, man. I first just want to give you a shout out on how my fault. I'm out here working, man. My elder got a farm. We're working on my elder farm.
No sweat, brother.
I'm collecting eggs right now, man. But I think I probably agree with you. I think it's more semantics with me with the term free will, I guess.
Right.
But yeah, because my whole thing was
really did it. That definition when it says free from external. So because God is external, that's how that takes away the free will for me.
Yeah, because if the father exists outside of time and space, like because
he exists outside of us though.
Yeah, so my thing is, I'm like, how do you have?
Hold on 1 second, bro. Hey, Tinsley, if you type it, man, we can hear that. If you can mute yourself.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No problem. Go ahead, Lemuel.
I was just saying, like, how do you have divine intervention, quote unquote, if so if certain things are supposed to happen, you might be able to make little minuscule decisions throughout your day, but what the Father wants to happen at the end of the day, that's what's going to happen. So I guess that's what I was trying to say with the free will thing, and it's like,
right,
and my thing is on the just the decorum, my whole thing, even outside of the discussion, was just being a man. And Cooley wasn't being a man through the whole talk. And it's like we can't even come to an understanding if you're not going to be a man and how you carry yourself through a conversation. Right. So I just appreciate how you carry yourself in conversation. That's all.
Thank you. I appreciate it, brother. And
yes, sir.
I think I try to show superiority, so I don't try to act like them. And it does require listening to people ramble and rant at XYZ like that. So it does require that. But I appreciate it, man. So I'm gonna go to the next brother unless you got something else.
That's all. That's it. I'm out of here. Appreciate you.
All right. It says Big Yasha Allah, you next.
Shalom, King.
Hey, shalom out.
I think you did a really good job. I clearly think you won the debate. I think there's a couple things you could have touched on that would have made it a little more clear cut on your side.
Before you go, right now on Cooley's channel, Captain Tazaryach is 60%. Cooley's is 40% as far as who won the debate. Just if anybody was interested in knowing. Go ahead.
I had a feeling that would happen.
Yeah.
No. And that's not even. I had a feeling that would happen because his chat was full of like disdain for him, like, yo, you didn't let him go. You was acting like, and
Right.
these
Right.
wasn't Israelite names that was saying that. These was
Yeah,
kind of
that's
like
what I was
regular
paying
shit happening.
attention to that too. I was paying attention to that too.
So I think you
Link is
did when
there. One second. The link is there. Anybody can click the link. It's pinned to the top. If you want to join, anybody can click the link and you can join. Go ahead, brother.
no doubt. I do think you won. I also believe, I also believe that this nigga is this nigga's a bird. This dude is not. No, I'm serious, man, because this one thing I noticed about you, man, is that like I understand what you're doing when you say you fishing and you doing these things. I get it, I got it, I understand it. But sometime we gotta let the 2/3 remain in 2/3 type shit. God got whatever he got for anybody. Yahweh got gonna do whatever he gonna do. But I would like it. And it's just me. I don't speak for everybody else. But the same way you be giving other niggas this work, you gotta give these niggas this work too, man. You got this nigga being a bitch. You gotta call him a bitch for real, because these niggas don't have no
Hey,
problem like
hey, you gonna
being
mess up my
shady
YouTube,
towards
man?
you. I'm
Yeah, you
oh
gonna
my
mess up
fault.
my YouTube.
Damn, my
See,
fault.
that's
My
why I
fault.
don't go off. That's
My
why I
fault. My
don't go
fault.
off.
But I hear you. But do you understand what I'm saying? Because I don't be
No, I
liking.
do.
I'm over here
I
on my
do.
side. I'm like, man, give him the work. All right, let me
It
done.
it all it all just depends. Like, especially if the individual is just rude, but he ain't using that language, I can't come back in that way. And what kept me the way that I was, if I'm being honest, is looking at his chat. So I never look up my chat because my chat is on the screen. So I'm looking at his chat, and me being the way that I was is why I'm winning on his poll right now. And I think if I would have acted with the whole shut the F up, you doing this, you doing that, XYZ, it would have gave what you call in the 2/3, what I call lost Israelites, um, the perception that they have of us already. They already have this perception. We loud, all we do is scream and yell, we not intelligent. So when I go in that type of environment, I just intelligently shut them down. And so that was the mission. That was the whole mission.
I get it. No,
Right now he's
and I
62%. I'm 38%, just so everybody know.
and I understand it too. I do understand it. I just be because I ain't gonna hold you. I'll be seeing like the I be seeing the way it happened inside of
Mhm.
Israel, and you don't be so
Right.
friendly with the other Israelites neither. I'm gonna keep it a
That's
G.
cap. That's cap.
Hold on, listen. I'm just
Who I
saying
don't
I
be
see
friendly
it,
with? What you
huh?
see? What you see? What you see?
Come on. We ain't got listen.
Now listen, I am the captain of all Israel.
All right.
Hard.
Look. So I'm keeping it a bean.
Keep it
Like
a beam, man. Say this,
and
say
then
it.
and then so
Don't be
and then
scared.
so this listen. Disagreements can happen, which is understandable in Israel.
Right.
Everybody ain't gonna believe the complete same thing each other believe in. So I learned from all of y'all, right? I learned from you. I learned from Gorilla. I learned from Joel. I learned from all different kind of people. But I seen the
Right.
way you treated Hakai and
Right.
the message that you sent to Hakai was like,
That was
F him
perfect.
on some. I don't want to do your page dirty, so I'm gonna just keep it
Right.
light. But you said F him to Hakai, and I'm like, damn, like
But
we
that was after he did some things. That was my initial issue with them at the time, because I don't have the same issue now. But my
okay.
initial issue at the time was I wanted them to stay together. It was a lack of brotherhood. Now, as we go back and forth, as he was doing his things, I did my things. As he do his ad libs, or I think I forgot what he did that made me do that, but he did something that made me say that. But I would say the same thing about Cooley. I would say F Cooley. It wouldn't be no different.
I ain't gonna hold you. That's what I was waiting for, King. I ain't gonna, you feel me? Like, yo, give him this work and don't never go up there again. You
No,
feel
but
me?
see, my thing is, so okay, so I'm gonna tell everybody from my listening audience, I'm not done with Cooley though. That's what. So I'm not done with Cooley. Like, so people listen to Cooley. If I could get on his platform right now, is 64%.
And you winning.
Thank
That's a
you.
win. That's a
Why
win.
would I stop going over there?
I get what you're saying.
Why would
That's
I
a win.
stop? I ain't done going over there.
Cause it ain't about him. I
It's
understand.
not. It's
It's
never.
not about
It's
him. I
never
get it.
about. I've never debated nobody and said I'm trying to convince them to believe in me. I've never done that. You got I've
That's the sheep
only
over there. I got
right,
you. It's the
exactly.
sheep over there. I feel you.
Exactly. So now I got a lot of people on here, Big Yashala. You ain't gotta you ain't gotta leave, but I just want to
Oh,
get
okay,
the
yeah. No fires, no fires. But look, hell of a job, man. You did a
thank
great
you, brother. I
job.
appreciate it.
On here and over there. I already knew you was gonna sweep over there too. I just had to say my little piece, whatever. But I love your content, man. I love what you're doing. And Big the Water, you heard? Love you, my
Hey, the
boy.
water to you, Wak. I love you too, Wak, man. I appreciate it, man.
Shalom.
All right. Hey, shalom, Wak. Next we got, hey, for time's sake, for Tinsley, an extended clip. I'm gonna go to my brother Yatazar because I know he slaves. So Yatazar, shalom, Yabashim Shabakatah.
Hey, Shalom Adawan, Yabashim Yashabrakatah. Man,
What's going
Adawan,
on,
that was
Hebrew?
child abuse, sir.
Yeah.
That, that was child abuse, Adawan. Even in his own chat, like you were saying, mostly everybody was against him, except people maybe he paid, to
Right.
say something opposite.
Real
But on
talk.
that last note you spoke, Adawan, I want to say this real quick, because a lot of time people outside, of the school don't understand. If you stop going to Sonetta and talking to them Hotep, Grand Rising, Cat, a lot of us would have probably not be in the truth, including
Right.
myself.
Thank you.
So
Like,
a lot.
listen, I remember Yatazar told me he was about to be in the whole more. This nigga's about to be a whole more society cat. Unless I go in the conscious community and battle them cats. You know what I'm
Good,
saying? Yeah.
good, good. And one thing I want to say, out of one, there's a point where he didn't want to go to that, right? Where I'm gonna land with this because I know you got other brothers on there.
Huh.
When he asked, he said, "Just give me 1 minute." Then he said 1 minute and a half, and then he said, "Then you could speak." Now, when you ask him, did you say this or no? He did not want to answer because
Right.
he would have had to prove that he was being deceitful. So this is why he did the whole thing that he did.
Yep.
He kept muting you
And I'm gonna
because
play
he
it.
did not want you to ask him that question because he didn't want to answer that.
That's right.
And
And I'm
that's
gonna play
just
it tonight.
effeminate.
Yep. And I'm definitely gonna play it. I'm gonna play both things. I'm gonna play where I said the free will is both of them.
Con. And real quick,
Huh.
I don't want this cat. He is not, if I may, sir, real
Yeah.
quick. He's not real nigga university.
He
That he's
definitely not.
BNU.
He is the
Uh,
BNU. And for
he
those that don't know, BNU stands for Bitch Nigga University.
Most High in Christ, cuz, sir.
All right, no
I'm
sir.
going out of one.
All right, shalom. Y'all some
Love. Y'all
trouble.
about
All
to be a thug.
right, no sir. I'm gonna come back up top to Tinsley. Tinsley, you there?
Hey, I'm here. Thank you so much for allowing the live stream because I was about to bust and go crazy. Oh my God, I had to talk to you. I am so like upset at this Cooley man, how he was speaking about the Most High God. First off, every time you said a Bible verse, it was like you were throwing holy water on him like a vampire. He wanted you to like stop immediately. It was so weird how he was acting. Stop going to the verses. Like, why don't you want to hear from God? It was weird.
When the subject
Secondly,
is about God. The subject was about God.
I know, and that's what got on my nerves how he was speaking about the Most High God. Anytime you said his words, the Most High's words, you know how you said, would you be saying sizzling in your spirit or
Let that
something like that?
sizzle in your spirit. Yeah, let that sizzle in your spirit.
The demon sizzled in his because he hates the Most High God's verses. Like he
Mm-hmm.
wants you to stop. I peeped that. I don't know if anyone else saw that. This is not the first show he did that either. Secondly, the other guy that was talking, he was saying that he was rude, and you're like, he's not rude. Yes, he is. I work around people like that. He's passive aggressive, and that's rude. He is rude. And the last thing I want to say is that how
You went out. Tinsley, you
the
went
judge
out.
have free will.
Tinsley, Tinsley, you went out.
Can you hear me better
You
now?
said the last. Yeah, you said the last thing I want to say.
I'm sorry. Yeah, the last thing I want to say, when you go to court and a judge give a sentence, I don't care if it's a fine, probation, or doing some time, the judge does not give you free will. So why are you not going to give all glory and honor?
You just went out again. You just went out again. All right, Sword of Yah. What's going on, brother?
Hey, I'll praise to the Most High. That debate was wild. I think he died the second he went and had a definition set up there.
Yeah.
It
You
was
know what's
really
funny though,
confusing.
Sword? Before you go, I didn't even know that was in the definition. Even that blew my mind when I saw that in the definition. I'm like, damn, I should have pulled the definition up first.
Right. Like like even the idea of free will can't exist with even other people being around in general. You'd have to like not interact with anything.
Right.
And once he pulled that definition up, I was like, oh, it's over. But then he keeps going, and I'm like, but even then, I feel like the Bible's fairly clear about itself. You just cut it all over him, man.
Yeah, definitely. I appreciate it, brother.
But yeah, I just wanted to give you your props, right? I'm not
Thank
gonna
you,
take too
brother. I
much of you guys'
appreciate it.
time, right?
All right. Take it easy, brother. Brew Pill.
Hey, shalom, Cap. Shalom, Cap.
Hey, shalom,
Down here
brother.
in
What's
South
going on?
Florida, man. Hey, just watch
Okay.
that debate. Great debate. I'm gonna just tell this to the listeners, man. Anybody listening, if you use Chat GPT with that definition and even plug in that scenario in, it tells you, and then you say change that external force to God. Can you defeat is debate over? Chat GPT said yes. Debate is over.
Yeah.
It's just that
Yeah.
simple, man. So hey, man, way to go, Cap.
Thank you, brother. I
It's
appreciate it.
wild. I'm just glad you ain't walking to his trap. That boy
Right.
said, describe it without using choices. I was like, dude, that's not the opposite of free
Yeah,
will.
that don't even that don't even make sense, man. I
Don't
didn't
make a bit
understand
of
why he was
sense.
going that way, like with it, but I mean, I was able to, I've been doing this a long time, so it's kind of easy to overlook a lot of things that people are doing. So I
Yeah,
knew his
I'm like,
angles.
don't walk into it. Don't walk
Yeah, and
into
even when he was
it.
doing the whole muting and stuff like that, his whole goal of muting was to get me to leave. That's why the last time he muted and unmuted me, I told him, if you mute me again, I'm gonna leave.
Yep.
So he chose to mute me again, and that's because as I played it, the definition just blew him up. It just messed everything up for him. So
Yep.
it was over. So
But all right, come on, Cap. Go ahead and get to the other people,
appreciate it,
man.
man. Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, now.
All right. Tinsley, was there the last thing you wanted to say?
Yeah, I'm so sorry. I don't know what's going on, but what I was trying to say with his examples of free will, like in the court of law, when a judge give a decree or a sentence, the judge does not give free will to the person being sentenced, if
Mm-hmm.
that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? So how would he even think or consider our law, statutes, and commandments is free will, that the Most High is giving us a choice? It's like within the word, a commandment is directions. It's not like you have the choice to eat pork or not eat pork. It's just, I don't know, I just don't understand how that is even a thought or assumption that the Most High gives free will. And the sad part is, before I found the truth, I was thinking that as a Christian, that I had a choice to do good or bad. So it was just kind of upsetting me that he kept boosting that ideology of the Most High God gives everyone's free will. Yeah, that's all I had to say.
No problem. I appreciate it. Our next person is hold on, close you. Lamawad. Lamawad, are you there?
Shalom Shabakatah. Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, I can hear you. What's going on?
Nothing much, sir. I just wanted to say great job on the debate on your side.
Oh, most high in Christ, the water, brother.
He need to change his podcast to Two Fugazy, not No Fugazy. But, I just wanted to ask you, sir, is this a good example? Back in my day, books that when you read them, you come to a page that you have to pick an option, and then it tells you to turn to a certain page for that option that you pick, and the story goes this way or that way depending on how you picked it. So I have the choice to choose which option I want, but I don't have the will of how the story ends based on my choice.
Yeah, yeah, but depending on how that setup is, I don't know if I would call that free or not. I would have to look at it, but that's still an external thing. But I
Right.
wouldn't put that in the same context of the Most High. But I get what you're saying. It's still an outside source that's having you make a decision. I believe that's what you're saying.
right, kind of the writer of the book knows the
Mm-hmm.
ending, whichever choice I make.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm at the will of the writer. And I guess I was just saying, is that kind of an example when it comes to Most High, based on your choices on His will,
That's
is
crazy.
how you're gonna end up.
Right. Facts.
Kind of one kind. But that's all I had said. I mean, you still undefeated from what I understand.
The water, brother. I
Kind of
appreciate it. Bro. The water.
kind of one kind. Shalom shalom.
Yeah, with some shavakata. All right. Next person in the queue is Zadak. Zadak, you there? Come on, Zadak. Are you there, brother?
Yeah, I'm there.
What's up, Bob?
I just popped in to listen.
Oh, you can listen through YouTube, brother. Not on here. All right. Israel bound. Israel bound. All right.
Can you hear me?
Get rid of him. I can hear you
Can
now.
you hear me? What's
I
up
can
with you,
hear you
Cap?
now. What's going on?
I think it's a delay.
It's a delay on your side.
Yeah, probably so. Now I was just kept tapping in. I was checking it out, and I was wondering if I may have missed it. You may have brought it up, but to me it was obvious when you talk about, because he kept getting away from the actual topic of the debate, as everybody could see, about it being, did God give free will? He keeps talking about, is it free will for man? But clearly in the garden, when God told Adam what he could partake in, there was no will, there was no choice. But when the action occurred, then they took on the ability to make choices. They chose, they took that. So it wasn't given. I don't see how he was getting there, but I was just tapping in. Salute on the on the debate. That dude's a
I
clown,
appreciate
man.
it, bro. Yep, I appreciate it, brother, greatly. Thank you, brother. All right.
Yes, sir. Peace.
Peace. All right. Last brother, I think we got one more. His name is Derek.
Oh wow, man, you let me in. Thank you. Appreciate that. Hey, I was listening to you guys debate. Can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine.
I was listening to you guys debate, and I think you both were making good points, and I think you were on separate pages. Meaning, what he was saying, I believe he's talking about out of all creation, do we have free will? And I think he's correct on that. But what
No,
you're
no,
talking
he's not.
about
No,
is
he's not.
the Most High and what His will is,
Do you
and
know
the
what the
Most
debate
High's
subject
will
was?
be done.
Do you know what the debate subject was?
Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, uh, do we have free will?
That's not the debate subject. The debate subject was, I'm going to read it for you plainly. Did God give us free will? So everything you
Okay.
said that he said, the point that he was making was dumb. Not your dumb. His points was dumb because that was not the debate topic. The debate topic was only about, does God give us free will? And he does not.
Now, if the Most High created everything, including us, of course, and we are able to do what the guy was talking about, meaning if I wanted to jump off the roof, I can do it because that's my choice. And
Is that choice free?
is that not also?
Does God want you to die?
I'm sorry.
Does God want you to die?
Well, it
Can you
depends.
just, no, no. If you jump off the roof, does God want you to die? Yes or no?
Well, I mean, the reason I say it depends is because your spirit,
Hey y'all, when
when
I
you
don't
were on
have
the
truth
earth
to get out of
before,
people, this is how you just helped me answer a question, Derek. This might help my listening audience. My listening audience always asks me,
Okay.
why do I have such patience with people? And it just dawned on me why I have patience with such people. And Derek, you are a prime example. When I can get fruit,
And why is that, sir?
because when I can get fruit out of somebody, I'm patient. When I can't get fruit out of somebody, I'm not. And you are,
So in other words, you're
but I
saying
can't get
if
no.
it goes your way, then you're
No,
getting
I didn't
fruit.
say
But
that.
if it's not going your way, then you're not getting
No,
fruit.
nope. Listening is an art. The
So,
fruit is not the person I'm battling. The fruit is the people that I gain from battling. So now, as I'm asking
well,
you these
well,
questions, remember the debate subject is, did God give us free will? So if you're going to tell me that God gave us free will, book, chapter, verse that God gave us free will, please.
well, here's all right. Let me. I can't tell you I'm driving
You
right
can
now,
paraphrase
but
it. If
maybe
you
if I
paraphrase
explain
it,
the
I could look it up for you.
right. That's
Okay.
exactly. You remember a situation where the Most High wanted one of the prophets to lie, and Satan was there, and he said, I could put a lying spirit. Well, if he if they were controlled by the Most High, then there wouldn't be no need for the Most High to send out
Why did
angels to
God,
put a lying spirit
why,
just to
okay, so
manipulate
why did
them
God do
to
that?
do
Why
something.
did God,
That was
why,
free
that was
will.
not free will. Why did God do that?
It doesn't
It
matter why he did it.
does.
It's the
See
fact
how
that
you
he
think?
had to
See, like
do
when
it.
you start getting in your feelings and start saying it don't matter why he do it, it
It's
does matter why he
the
do it.
fact that
But
he
wait,
had
one,
to
one
do it.
second, 1 second. Listening is an art. He did it because he was punishing him for disobedience, which is how you know it's not.
Right.
Slow down, Swifty. You got to listen. He did it to punish him.
Well, make sure you give me that
I
same
did when you
courtesy
was
then.
just talking, nigga. I just did. I let you get your whole spill.
Nah,
I
nigga.
just let you.
Now I just
Okay.
called and I just
Okay.
started and you
All right.
automatically jumped
I did
in.
not jump in. You said, do I remember that story of how the
I'm
lion
talking
spirit?
about the very
You
beginning.
just got finished breaking down this whole thing of free will based on that story. And when I go to respond to the same story, you're interrupting me. I didn't interrupt you when you gave your.
Right,
So you got
right,
to be
right.
quiet.
You've interrupted me
I did.
since the start.
I
Once I
told
called.
y'all. Like, I'm gonna try to bring you back. This is an example. I didn't kick him off. I'm gonna try to bring him back. So now I brought you back. You either gonna let me finish or we don't talk. I'll let you give your spill.
Well, as long as you give me the
Shut
same
the fuck
courtesy, but if you're
up.
not gonna give
All you gotta do is just say
the
okay.
disrespect that you showed, I'm
All you
gonna
gotta
show
do
you.
is just say okay. That's all you gotta do. So
No, I'm not
now
gonna say okay.
that not okay, no problem. You ain't gotta say okay. All right. Ain't that deep. All right, so now I'm gonna play these two videos. I think I'll put these two videos in here. I think that's the difference, y'all. When I see I don't get no fruit out of them, it's different. If they're used up and everything like that, I think that's my ear marker. I think that's what it is. Now let me see if I can play this video. Shout out to Derek. Derek did a good job because he helped me understand that. The subject is, does God give us free will? I even gave an example of how I now, so y'all can understand why I'm playing this. This is the full clip of what he was supposed to play, which he chose not to play. And I want everybody to listen because I never said free will is not a choice. It's just not in the same context of the debate subject is, does God give us free will? I even gave an example of how I can freely make a choice of making my subject is, does God give us free will? I even gave an example of how I can freely make a choice of making my butters or not. But if God said was the subject is, does God give us free will? I even gave an example of how I can freely make a choice of making my butters or not. But if God said, don't be a homosexual, God is not telling you to be a homosexual. God did not create homosexuals, but God is going to destroy homosexuals.
That's
So
just
when you
consequence. You're
ask,
still not
when you ask
explaining.
about the meaning, the answer that I gave was from God because the subject is about God. The debate is about God. So I gave two sides of the coin. The first thing I said was God. God said to fear him and keep the commandments. That's the whole duty of life. So according to God, that's our meaning. That's our purpose. And then you said, what about people that don't believe in God and get a meaning of life of being a homosexual, living like this, living many different ways that don't believe God? I answered you directly by saying the Bible says, what if some don't believe? Shall that make the faith of God none effect? When you
You're appealing to
let me answer.
consequences.
Let me answer.
Bro, you're appealing to consequence. That
You,
isn't the
if you,
question. The question isn't consequences.
that is
The
not a mean.
question is
So
void of
I'm
free
not. You're
will. Where do you
interrupting.
get meaning from?
You're interrupting in the answer because for me, if you live outside of God, if we're talking about God and you live outside of God, there is no meaning of life outside of God. And for somebody that lives outside of God, verse 5 says, if our unrighteousness commends the righteousness of God, God gonna punish you even if you don't believe in him. So the only choice we have is to fear God, live according to him. That is the purpose of mankind, to
Totally
live
fine. Now
according to
explain
God.
to me. Totally fine.
Now, this is the part that he didn't want to play, that I asked him to play. And so now when I go to, hold on. All right. So now when I go to the next clip, let's go to the next clip. This is
I'm
when
a
he
great
said
listener and I
he
have
would play.
amazing
Let's
active
play that
listening
clip.
skills. I'm going to rewind it live on the podcast so you can see. The audience already
Just
sees
make
it,
sure
but
you play all of what I
so you can
said.
see.
I know
Oh
what
yeah,
I
I'm going
said.
to play
Just
this so you can see.
see how
The
I said?
audience already
Just make
sees it,
sure
but
you play all of what I
so you can
said.
see.
I know
Oh
what
yeah,
I
I'm going
said.
to
Just
play it.
make sure
Yeah,
you
I'm going to
play
play
all
real
of it.
quick.
Appreciate it.
Got it. See, the audience already
Just
sees
make
it,
sure
but
you play all of what I
so you can
said.
see.
I know
Oh
what
yeah,
I
I'm going
said.
to
Just
play
make
it.
sure
Yeah,
you
I'm going to
play
play
all
real
of it.
quick.
Appreciate it.
Got it. I'm going to mute both of us real quick and bring it up.
Okay. All right. So I just wanted to play that so that the people can see, what, actually took place, what was real, what was not real. So shout out to Malik Harvey. He said you won. Listen, man, I won on my channel and his channel. I mean, it's pretty much a body bag for the Most High. So I appreciate y'all rocking with me, man. I see y'all tomorrow. We will be doing Cross the Line Radio. What's tomorrow? Thursday? Yeah, we will be doing Cross the Line Radio tomorrow. So make sure y'all tune in. I gotta do it in the lab podcast because Mike said I gotta do it in the podcast live. So I will be doing that. And Michael Love also is there's an Essene Israelite running interference. That's crazy. Also, too, this is the women. This is the women one. This is the men one. I'm working with Michael Love. He's gonna buy one of these. For those that don't know, this is my cologne that I have. You see it slides right up. Cologne is right there. This is called Infinite for men and women. So I'll be working with Mike, and somebody will be getting that soon. So until next time,